So what have we got for today? We've got some news of, I don't know, where have we got? Who knows? It'll be an exciting stream of nothing. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It is the Biendeo stream today on this fine 16th of February 2026. So I hope you're having a wonderful week and will have a wonderful week ahead of you. Sup Blub, sup Fetty. Hi YouTube as well, if anyone's on YouTube there. Some people are, I'm surprised. Some of them get views. A lot of people watch the Theme Park World streams, so I'm happy about that one. Shout out if you're staying up late tonight because the Chinese New Year rolls over tonight. I already celebrate the Gregorian New Year, so I'm all set there. But let's dive in to today's game, which is the same game every week. Well, it's not the same game every week, but we're up to week 4 of Pokémon Colosseum in the last stream. Nice stream tile today. It is. I mean, I don't know if you've picked the theme of the stream titles for Pokémon Colosseum. But yeah, no, it's been it's been a somewhat a little bit of a mind-numbing week, but you know, you got to get through the mind-numbing weeks to get through the really exciting weeks. So I had a couple of things. I got some game to talk about, some things I've played. We got some World of Motorsport stuff. Not too many motorsport things. I'm not really too motorsporty, but I watch a few things, so that's always good. And a couple of fun game news. Face reveal sponsored. Well, sponsored by Palantir. Well, the best part is like I've already revealed my face on my YouTube channel. Perhaps my teenager face. This is like the old Proton John. Everyone had the teenager face. Sup, Tom? But yeah, we navigated to the under. I didn't heal because you gotta pay money. Okay, I'm gonna be stingy. I'm not gonna be stingy in this case because I think I actually really need it. Nah, because the thing that I want to wing, is that if I can run north enough, we can get to, like, look at this thing. Select a UFO disc. Oh my goodness, it's almost as if I've got the food disc. The F disc. This lets you, there you go. Lets you go forward. And if I've planned this right, then we're all good. I don't need to worry about anything. And if I've planned this wrong, we panic. But this should navigate us into the Colosseum, which has a Pokemon Center. So. There you go. Why be stingy? For this reason. This is why you can be stingy. Thank you for waiting. Look at this Xenosaga lift here. It's just chilling here, you know? It's a curious lift as well. I'm not too sure if actually we're battling in the Colosseum today. You might be wondering where this puts you, and the answer is, there's a world warp here, in case you needed to get to the under without having to chat to that one person outside the lift every time. There's just an entrance here. And isn't that really convenient as well? It puts you right next to a Pokemon Center. Well, it's not really a Pokemon Center. What's got the machine? Think about it, they have a whole facility. I'm always interested in the prizes. I want to see what Shadow Pokemon. How do you like that? They openly give out Shadow Pokemon in this town. Wow. Oh, okay. We gotta wait for them prizes. Excuse me, fellow. There's talk of spies loose in the under. Is it true? Yes. Ah, but have no fear. My Makuita here will clean up the spy problem. What if I say no? Oh, how dull. My Makuita here would have cleaned up the spy problem. Oh, well, okay. Look at this, like, lack of building over there as well. But yeah. No, yeah, no, it's been kind of quiet. It's been, as always, the ever so slightly... Ooh, he is the challenge champ. Oh, I guess I cannot progress through here, unfortunately. This area looks a little familiar, doesn't it? But we'll get into that later. We still got to explore around. The music rock. Oh, it does. A lot of the music in this game rocks. It's really good. Yeah, we might as well dive into that one. So, yeah, I mean, as you say, Fetty, most of the dev team was let go. I think this includes, like, a creative director guy. And this creative director guy, I really wish I had... do I have... I don't have the tweet open, unfortunately. But, yeah, this sort of came from a level designer called Alex Grainer. Linked it basically on his LinkedIn. He basically said, I, along with most of the team at Highguard, has unfortunately been let go. Also, ew, energy powder, energy root. Who would want that? Who would want that? But Highguard, as everyone knows, was the game that was announced at the end of the Game Awards last year, and I mean, I guess I would have to have played it in order to make a really, really big comment, but I guess to me, it kind of feels like an amalgamation of many games of its time, and I think perhaps it has an identity problem. Calling it an oversaturated market is definitely one thing, but also, I think the other problem as well is that games these days... games as a service is a naturally oversaturated market, because usually when a game console comes out, you compete against the games that came out on the console. So when the Nintendo 64 came out, let's just have a thing. You're competing against other Nintendo 64 games. You release a first-person shooter on that, let's say Turok, easy market. There's no first-person shooters on the Nintendo 64. Easy market. Obviously, people could buy a PlayStation 1 and play, some other first-person shooters on there, but you're sort of competing against games of its platform in its space. A big problem with games nowadays is that we haven't really ruled... Well, one, consoles are sort of getting a little longer and longer, but also games are lasting longer and longer in the eyes of the media. The reason why people still talk about, like, Cyberpunk, but I'll also just say The Witcher 3, which is the game before, we still talk about Fortnite, Counter-Strike, I guess technically we're back to Overwatch 1? Are you the Biendeo Muro? Oh wow, that's too awesome! Oh my gosh, either. But like, we keep talking about a lot of these games that have existed sometimes even before the 2000s. I mean, when people still talk about like big MMOs, it's like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV are still the big MMOs. It's like, yeah, like the game as a service, and that should be the historical example. That should be some of the oldest games as a service games. MMOs are naturally, games as a service. They naturally need to keep adding content over time and keeping people addicted and hooked over time with new and new stuff. That's fine. That's fine as what that is, but it means that you can't compete against them unless you absolutely crush them. You do something completely different. And, sometimes competitors can fit in and not be doing anything, like, too different. I feel like Apex Legends is more an execution, success story and not a pure idea success story. It does a lot of things right, I'll definitely say that. It's probably Venus. We can boost our equipment with the kids grid. Okay, wow. It's boosting the kids grid. But yeah, a lot of these games that, and in a few weeks Marathon, well, I do feel harsh on Marathon, but on the flip side, Marathon... Oh, we're waiting? Okay. I talked to everyone. May I have your phone number? Oh, okay. Jeez, they... Getting everyone's phone number. I feel a little bad on Marathon because I hope it's something different. I hope it's something new. Spy the spy? Where's the spy? Spy, where? In front of the elevator. The red spy's an enemy. Yeah, let me go. Shut up, it's hopeless. Quit struggling. This may be the best or worst day of his life. There's a new trailer for it. I did see the new trailer, and I'll talk generally about the state of play in a bit as well. We had the partner direct as well after the last stream, didn't we? But I do feel bad for Marathon because I kind of like... A little bit. I kind of like... Oh, we are spies. I kind of like the aesthetic they're going for. My problem is that I want it to be a single-player game. I want it to be a game where I shoot aliens and robots and stuff like that. You know, like Marathon. And it's not like Marathon. It's like Tarkov. It's an extraction shooter where I'm shooting other people. And, you know, maybe people have abilities and things like that. Also, straight into the mix, we gotta catch a Ledian. How hard will this be? Probably not too hard, but it is level 40, which is remarkably over my level. Yeah, it's like, Prey 2017 is probably the classic example where it's like, that is just a name rip. And, I mean, you know, it is they have the rights to the name, obviously, but it's like, it's kind of odd that you call it that, given that it's not like the old game in really that many ways. Although, knowing Bungie, they're going to add world connectivity in there. They had a trailer that would be perfect if it was a yeah. My Thundershock. I can use Thundershock, but I'm trying to be weak on Ledian. So I think we'll leave it at 2 hits. In the case of Prey, oh yeah, because Prey 2017 used to be called Psyshock in early production, and knowing that it would have particularly the System Shock influence, I think you can maybe point to Bioshock, but I think it is a lot more System Shock. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's even got Psy powers in the game. It's like, oh, it's right there. Yeah, System Shock, yeah. I think maybe part of the problem is like, well, how do you advertise something that's got PSY at the beginning of its name? Maybe there's a little bit of that. I get that. But on the other hand, it's like calling it Prey. It's like, what does it got to do with Prey? Confusingly as well, then we have the Predator spin-off Prey come out a handful of years later, and now people, you know, when they look up Prey, they're never going to find this game. And they're also never going to find the original game. But at least the original game came out in 2006, so I mean, you know, we don't point that one out for being called Prey. As a fun fact, by the way, Prey 2006 is on my long list of games I would like to play on stream. But it is a shooter, and I do only do so many shooters a year, so it's not the next game, I can definitely assure you that. I'm actually curious what shooter I am going to play this year, because we've nailed a lot of them, and Night Dive haven't come out with another... Oh, they did actually, it was the Hex and Heretic one. Are we doing that this year? Maybe. Request is still active. Not only did it never get a sequel, it also never got a digital re-release. Sorry, it briefly got a digital re-release, didn't it? Because it was on GOG, I think, for a hot second. But yeah, like, I do hope Marathon is good. Like, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily that I hope it gets players, because I don't think any game really I could use Surf here. Play a certain game on stream. I've forgotten which game in particular you referred to, unless you said Prey just then. I got some other ones. I got a lot of other games I would like to play on stream, so... Oh, well, I gotta play the game. But I don't play a lot of blind games on stream, and usually when I do play a blind game, it is like... You know, a real serious, like, notorious one. Whether it's Final Fantasy VII or Resident Evil, or, in my case, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Nightshade, don't do that. Nightshade is such an annoying move at this level. Because it does the amount of damage equal to the opponent's level. It's like, ugh. Ugh. Yeah, high level 30s. It's a bit of a doozy to deal with. We should be good with a surf here. I can still enjoy it, it just doesn't have to be on stream. Because, I don't know, most of the games I play on stream are ones that I have at least some connection to. And we are finding, like, ones where it's like... I mean, this is one that I had played as a kid, but it was also... You know, we start getting into the extremities of the ones I particularly have strong opinions of. It's kind kind of annoying that I'm slower than them, though. I guess Espeon wouldn't be slower, but... Man... They're not really pulling their weight. Or I'm just really not sending out the right Pokemon against them. Well, I say that, and then it's like, well, Quagsire's lasted, so... I think the bugs will be okay against the fighting type. And the Intimidate will be good. But yeah, no, I think ultimately at the end of the day, and this, I think, should be a post-mortem about Highguard. And I say it's a post-mortem, even though most of the staff got let off, it's like, well, it's not Concord dead in the same way that they took it offline and offered refunds to everyone. It's not at that point, which is a little odd, actually, because it's like, well, can't you see the writings on the wall if they're clearly not going to make new content for the game? Who is going to spend money on the game if that's going to be the case? Yeah, Quagsire's pulling through. I don't know why I can't get anyone else to, but it could be a level difference. I'm curious if I need to go back to Mount Battle, because Mount Battle now has, I think, it's got a 100 trainer challenge, which you don't have to fight them all in one go, but you do get a lot of experience as you go up there. So, I'm curious. I'm very curious. This spy is actually strong! I love the name Cloak, with a K. And then I love this name. Dagger. That's what water sounds like, apparently. Now this one's going to be a bit of a doozy because we got a grass type, which means please do not have Quagsire out. Gore sound effects in other games, maybe. Yeah, Quagsire is not going to have fun against this Gloom. The good news, I don't think there's a Shadow Pokemon on this fight, so I can at least swap. Unfortunately, I don't have too many options to swap to. I didn't realize there's a Retro Achievement subset for getting through the entire game with only Umbreon and Espeon as well. Who would be Mina? Probably get rid of Gloom first, just so I can get Quagsire back in the mix later. Shadow Rusher! I get that crit damage as well. I don't have Umbreon on me, no. A part of me does, like, want to see if I can leverage other Pokemon on the team. And obviously, as well, you're going to be juggling a bunch of Legendaries. And I know it's slightly cheap to have Legendaries, but then it's also, like... Is he level 40? No, he's not level 40. Okay. I think Psybeam might actually be good on that. Yeah. Also, he's going to wipe himself out with Shadow Rush. Whoops. But yeah, as a post-mortem of Concord, also Concord, but especially Highguard, I think we as gamers shouldn't really desire for games to crash and burn unless they don't appeal to us, if that makes sense. I don't really want the game to do poorly because out of any spite of, you know, a game developer or something like that, because it's like, hey, you know, at the end of the day, they are making something, and if that finds a market, you know, sure, whatever. Like, you know, there might be some discussions about, well, okay, well, it drags away effort, in which case, sorry, how would I say? It drags away effort or attention from projects that I actually would like. I guess there's that, always. Well, mine looks a little bit munted on the top. I don't know what's going on there. You see, Espeon's great, so... Maybe I just need a... Meganium to have the experience share in the back instead of sending Meganium out front. Just have the higher level Pokemon out front. The idea of these Project Crash and Burn that sends the message stop milking. Well, yeah, there's that. It's like simultaneously I want that to be the message, but also I don't want these games to crash and burn. How would I say? Because it's not for me. If there is a market for it, I'm cool with that. But at the end of the day, there is no market for this, and games cost a lot. I got to thinking that maybe you folks were the spies. But I see I've been barking up the wrong tree. Do they all say this? Oh, okay. Never mind. But yeah, no, exactly. Oh, do I have to put the thing in the machine every time? All systems set. But yeah, no, games shouldn't... It's about sending... Well, yeah, exactly. It's about sending a message. I wish... And I think one massive problem about the Highguard response, if anyone caught the that one guy doing the long blog post about sort of like his own post-mortem, is that he basically attributed the failure of the game to like sort of a negative hate mob. I don't want to say a hate mob in the sense of like, oh, you know, like it's he kind of made it sound like it was unfounded, but he didn't really take the time to look inward and go, why did people react negatively to the trailer? It is a scapegoat, yeah, definitely. Well, it's not even a scapegoat. It's like you're just looking at the wrong crowd. A bunch of people have said this game doesn't look interesting, and on top of that as well, yeah, I'm saving right here. I gotta make sure I'm saving. We caught something, so we definitely gotta save. But like, certainly a lot of people called out, and now to be fair, Twitter is a bit of an echo chamber, but also all echo chambers will have elements of truth to them. I don't think you can truly dismiss echo chambers as because it is just an echo chamber, because there are so many people saying the same thing over and over again, therefore it must be bots, and or it must be the same person again and again, or it must be overblown. The problem with the disk, do not run rdisk on Windows. Actually, you could. I don't think it's a real program, but just it's just a thing. Also, while we're at it, let's change the party lineup. So Quagsire is still doing okay, but I do want deposit. Deposit? Is that always been the term they've used? It's a bit curious. It seemed from the blog post that he was really surrounding himself with a lot of yes men. This reminds me of, if anyone remembers, with Sonic 06, when they kind of fired their whole QA staff just to get positive responses for the game experience. Like, the new people were very happy to be hired by Sonic Team and working... Exactly, toxic positivity is the term. Is that effectively by having no one be able to say anything bad about the game to you, you've made a game that unfortunately didn't appeal to that many people. It hit a decently large player count on day 1, but it didn't retain any of it for days 2, 3, 4. And then, you know, it's only been 2 weeks since the game came out, so it's lasted twice as long as Concord at the very least. But obviously the writing was on the wall. They looked at the reception and they looked at the player count immediately dipping off. The revenue wasn't coming in, probably. We're gonna have to infer that, but like, obviously if it was selling well, then shouldn't it have stayed on? This reminds me of another area in the game.
Okay, folks, we're ready to go on the air.
Oh, I gotta keep interacting.
Hey, you there, don't wander around the set. Lady Venus is especially confident of her right profile.
Testing, testing, the rain in the under is accompanied by thunder. Testing.
Hi there.
You two, you're holding up the film shoot. We're about to begin filming. Wait, who are you? I recognize those faces. Those faces are on the blacklist from headquarters. How did you find us? But that's not important now. I'll squash you myself and collect a reward from Master Nasco.
That's right, we were kind of close to a boss fight, but only kinda. This one may kick my butt? I don't know, we'll see. We shall see. So good old Entei is going to help me out here. Because I don't have a fire attack. Well, let's take out the Vileplume anyways. Also, am I going to get really caught out by the levels of all these Pokemon here? Vileplume is going to wreck my day. So, we shall keep it peachy back on Hitmontop. Well, it's less a good job and more a good luck. I've got some other fights I can go back to. We can go back to the Phoenix City, you know, gym if we need to. Cause all that stuff's in the level 40 region, but also I have Entei. So as long as Entei doesn't, like, really cop it, then it might be okay. Yeah, it depends on, I guess, how your effort values are going. The problem with effort values is that since we don't have wild Pokemon, well, I did in my Pokemon Blue playthrough, I did level 42 fighting a level 65. So we can do that. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got type matchups, but unfortunately, we've got everyone's a Shadow Pokemon. I'm just spamming the Shadow Pokemon move, using the 90% crit chance as a clutch to basically, like, wing my way through this whole thing. And it is Entei. So at least there's the Vileplume out of the way. We got that. That's not fun. What do you mean you taught Delcatty a water-type attack? Okay, well, in that case, Steelix is probably not as much a concern. Or maybe it still is. Water Pulse is just not fun, though. But yeah. Your game ultimately needs to be appealing to some market, and then on top of that, I feel like there is a problem generally in the game industry where, yeah, Earthquake's the problematic move here, because it's gonna... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can take that. See, my only problem is, Quagsire is clearly not going to be fast enough to, like, handle this. But we can give it a shot. We can give it a shot. Double Edge is going to kill you! Oh, it killed me as well, but... it's gonna... Also, it didn't kill you. Come on. The worst part as well is you know 100% we got to deal with a, deal with a catch at the end as well. So this is going to be a mess. Some achievement badges for a Pokemon game. I don't know how many Pokemon games there are left that need badges or really any achievements. But it's worth looking up. You can always do a ROM hack. Oh my goodness, Steelix. Steelix is a special wall, right? So as long as I've got a... Is he a special wall? No, he's a physical wall. Okay, just panic, I guess. Can't really hit him with physical in any way. Ouch. I mean, I guess I can keep spamming Surf. Can't hurt. Bennett probably just copy, even though I know Bennett's just pure ghost type and this isn't super effective. Just get the damage out of the way on this one. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is a mean attack. It's not gonna be fun. Oh. But Mud Shots would be physical, so it's like... it's a bit of an icky move. I'd prefer the stab. Well, I guess Mud Shot would also have the stab, but... I know Surf is getting reduced in power because of splitting between two opponents. Is this gonna hit Bennett? Oh! It is. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be the worst because she's only got one Pokemon left. Oh no, this is actually gonna be terrible. She's got one Pokemon left and the Steelix has a propensity to use Earthquake all the time. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. So, yeah, she's got Suicune. I've got one Pokemon left. I've got Ampharos, so I'm kind of ready if I needed to weaken Suicune, but unfortunately, I don't need to weaken Steelix, but I don't really have anything to handle Steelix, so I don't know, we're just gonna deal some damage and hope for the best. Okay, well, we're gonna deal some damage and hope for the best. Here's what I'm curious about. What happens if you catch the Pokemon and then you white out? Does it replace it with the Bee Party? Because, yeah, this is a tremendously bad situation I'm in. Honestly as well, if I botch this up, or if this doesn't, like, make do, we're gonna go to Phoenix City. We're gonna get some levels. Because, I mean, yeah, Suicune is not gonna cop just one hit, but Steelix, unfortunately, is such a bulky fella, and he's just doing Earthquake Spam. He is gonna kill Suicune. He's definitely gonna kill Ampharos. But like, he's gonna kill Suicune in one go. Oh boy. Well, we got one hope. Oh boy. We might as well use the Ultra Ball. We might as well get the best odds on this one. Listen, if I catch this, this will be mighty. But it probably won't work. Nah. If I survive, I mean, we could give it another go, but... I think this Suicune apparently has Gust, so I don't know. Suicune could have annihilated me, but decided to give me an extra turn for love, I guess. Even though I'm gonna cop it, but if I get the Suicune, I'll at least be a little happy. Just a little bit. But just like Entei, I mean, it's gonna be the same odds. Nah, it's a really hard catch. So, gosh, where did the leveling go? You know what I mean? Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna whatever my reset combo is. Whoops, whoops. That's not the combo. Ah. What did I buy my reset to? I should have double checked what my reset was bound to. That's why the screen keeps changing resolution. Google AI says, you keep the Pokemon, but a post on GameFAQs says someone did catch them and lost on purpose, and they were gone. RIP. RIP. Alas. Alright, well, I'm getting my butt kicked, and to be fair, I mean... Actually, not to be fair. Isn't it weird that this person's got 7 levels higher Pokemon all of a sudden? I mean, I guess, yeah, they are the boss, but like... Jeez. Where was the lead up? You know, so... Alright, well, in that case, yeah, let's head over to Phoenix City and start getting some levels, I guess. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I keep forgetting the name Highguard. That's how, sort of, you know, how tough it is to really, like, even give it an identity. Is it an oversaturated market? It's saturated in the sense that there are big players with big numbers of players. There are games with so many players out there that it's so hard to compete against them, and that's, you know, it's expected. We're gonna naturally see, you know, a lot of people flock to certain games. But yeah, the problem is that we don't live in a day and age like the olden days where you release a game and, you know, you need to work on a sequel. You need to make another game that's bigger and better than your previous one. It's like you make a game and you sort of keep people feeling comfy with it for eternity, for a long time. And it's a different market then. You can't make, you know, sequels or other kinds of games and expect to just do the same like they used to. Overwatch, Overwatch 2, Overwatch. Yeah, exactly. We've gone back to Overwatch 1. And to some extent, it's like, here is a game that is, you know, when they made Overwatch 2, it's like, well, how much of a sequel was Overwatch 2? Well, so little that they could call it Overwatch 1 again. That's how little they could do. Like, I don't know, so... And I mean, all in all, at the end of the day, like, the way that games are packaged and sold to people is, it doesn't matter really too much at the end of the day. It's just like the means of which someone makes a game or makes something and sells it off. Yeah, this was like level 40s, but they weren't fully evolved Pokemon. So this gives me a bit of a feeling that I might be able to take this a bit better. But I do want to Shadow Rush that Sunflora, because that Sunflora is going to wreck my day. It is Sunflora, it's not going to be that strong. But yeah, like, why... Like, at the end of the day, people want to spend more. We sort of want to spend... Oh, this Cacnea is going to ruin my day as well. People want to spend money on games in some variety, and if, I guess, you know, that is... We fund cosmetic operations and loot box grinds and whatever. You know, I guess that's how people are going to do it. And at the end of the day, you know, we are getting good value games compared to games in the past. Sometimes. It depends. But certainly games these days are very big, very long, and I'm not justifying the $80 price tag, but they're certainly cramming a lot more budget and effort into the same, you know, the same marketed games, effectively. A game like Cyberpunk, honestly, has so much more, you know, money and investment and things to explore in it than various other older RPGs, and that's fine and expected. But yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, and now we're gonna ask the people more money, which the reason why I'm upset about the higher price tags is not necessarily because the price tag itself is higher, but because it's $80 US plus obviously tons of DLC, which has already been effectively stripping out content and selling it to you at a later point in time. Like, that's naturally what the industry has been doing for so long. I think Entei's bar, by the way, is so long because he's a big guy. All I just want is a fire-type attack, finally. Then I can take on the grass-type Pokemon with ease. Also, we're really doing total team spam. Well, it's not good enough. And now Quagsire is sort of clearing the way through this level 40 gym. Now we got a Zoomerl, so I don't know if... ouchies. Should I switch that? Nah, let's just wing it. Entei's Entei, he'll be fine. But yeah, I think a very classic example of the... you know, stuff being sold at you at a later point in time is the Pokemon Legends ZA. Clearly, they just announced DLC before the game came out. There's tons of examples of this, but it's just another recent example, and it's like, hi, it costs half as much as the game itself, and I don't even know if the game's good at this point, and you're already trying to sell me on, you know, a half-price game experience on top of the existing game. This isn't an $80 US game, it's a $90 US game. Maybe a little more, actually, because the Switch 2 version costs more already. So it's actually the $100 game at this point. You know, we get into this whole, like, oh my gosh, like, the more you break it down, the more, like, layers that we build on top of each other and try to sell to people. Also, oh, I'm being double team spammed. Oh, I wish I had Swift. I wish I had Swift. This is getting very annoying though, I'll tell you that. Oh my goodness, just let me hit someone. This is never gonna happen, we're never gonna get through this fight. Light screen is not gonna help either. Actually, it's fine in this case, because slamming... There we go, finally a hit. You know, I might as well keep using Surf, I guess. We're really just gonna have the Sandstorm knock everyone out. Listen, we could be here for hours. Oh yeah, I forgot he's got the two. She's got the two super potions as well. Oh. Okay, that's a good hit. That's a good hit. Zoomerl doesn't have water absorb, does it? Okay, see, Surf is the mean attack. I'm surprised we got this far to get to Surf. I don't know if Azumarilla's water absorb. I don't know, I guess not. Was water absorb even in 3rd gen? Who knows? Like, I don't know. What do we do here? We just switch out, I guess. Switch to Espeon, hope for the best. Okay. But yeah, so what do we do? What do we do in this industry, I guess? Like, what's the, you know, the plan for the future? The easiest thing I keep saying, and I wish game devs did this, is to make more games more often at lower budgets. And this is a great segue to the Sony State of Play, is some people are starting to get that idea. So there is a weird low-budget God of War spin-off that they're releasing. And as much as the original creator of God of War kind of hates it, he's very vocal about this. He's very vocal about what he likes and doesn't like in modern God of War, which is like, I get that it's your baby child, but like, you know, like, also, I was not expecting to go first. Whoops. Water absorbs Gen 3. Ah, there you go. Thank you very much. I don't know who would have had it. Also, rip Nose Pass. Nose Pass is such a weird one, because, I mean, he's cool and all, but Probo Pass is a very tactical... Also, another double team, really? Is this your strat? It's just... yeah, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. 3 flicks on the knee, like that kind of stuff. It was a very solid presentation. I think the part that I was very happy about the State of Play was... oh, we actually can have it. Oh, there you go. The State of Play hit a lot of genres, and I think that's what really helped made it a nice, big variety kind of stream. I actually might pull up like what was in the State of Play, so I can note them down. I think Nose Pass is meant to sort of be an Easter Island kind of character. But here we go, blog.playstation.com at least has the State of Play completely out of order as well. Thank you very much. I don't know, maybe we'll just start using the turn, because apparently light screen is really being annoying. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I think this is all in alphabetical order. So you're gonna have to bear with me on this one. Yeah, it's an alphabetical. So we'll go with that. Magnitude 7. Oh boy. Well, I think Quagsire. Oh, Quagsire's fine, but Espeon is not. So, the first one we got is a story trailer for 007 First Light. And it seems fine still. I feel like we got a more expansive trailer at the Game Awards. They kept referring to 009 being a rogue agent, and we've already done the rogue agent story, haven't we? See, there's my problem with Highguard, is that he's ground flying. So, I feel like it seems decent, but I am a little worried about the, I guess, will it be okay? Will it be fine? So yeah, I don't think I can... He is ground flying, isn't he? Gligar? I know he's second gen, so I should actually know him like the back of my hand. Yeah, he is ground flying, so I can't use an electric attack on him. Are these the last two? Because I'm getting my butt kicked still. Yeah, it feels like the Indiana Jones game, and people like the Indiana Jones game. Am I getting my butt kicked, by the way, by like just double team spam? Yeah, these are the last two, but oh, I can't do anything about the Gligar. You know what I can do? I can do something about the Nose Pass, because Rock is not resistant to electric. Unfortunately, I may have killed the Nose Pass first, so... Okay. Yeah, there's only two things super effective against Gligar, and that's water and ice, and unfortunately my water is gone, and I could use a revive, but... It's not like electric's gonna do anything either. But yeah, no, 007 First Light, that's fine, you know, whatever. Next one is For Loop. Mike Booth told us about the game sort of in the exact same way he told us last time, so I'm not really too sure why I'm here, but sure, yeah. That game looks fine, but you know, it kind of feels like... It kind of looks like fun, but I remember him talking about Evolve and Back for Blood like this. Did he work on Evolve? When the body slam gets the paralysis. Best thing I can do is just spam Cod and Spore and hope for the best. It might be okay, but again, it's like... I find it's actually really hard for games to really, like, you know, hit the market appeal on me. And not because I'm a stingy kind of guy, but because games are so large and complex now that it's really hard to, like, understand where the... Please don't... Okay, I was like, we might be able to wing this. Maybe. We still got him on top as well, don't worry. But yeah, like, they show off, like, oh, you know, you fight, like, aliens and weird stuff happens, and, you know, like, don't worry if you die, because you just come back and you do lots of roguelike kinds of elements, and I'm like, okay, but, like, all of this hinges upon me playing it, basically. This is a great turn, by the way. This is a great turn, so... next one is Beast of Incarnation. It is, a game... We have a dog. This is the Game Freak game, isn't it? Every time you see the Game Freak logo and it's not Pokemon, it always blows someone's mind. They're like, what? They make other games? Yeah. Joint creators. It's a big combination between them and Ape Inc. and Nintendo. Ape being now called Creatures, which always seems a bit weird because it's like Creatures sounds like it's the Pokemon company, but it's not. That's just what they call themselves. I think it looks okay. It's kind of... How'd I put it? There's a genre of action game that I'm not too sure how to classify, but I would kind of say... oh my gosh, by the way, this fight could be over right now. I don't want to call it Souls-like. I would point back a bit further and point to either Devil May Cry or God of War, the original, as examples. Like the more kind of cinematic action kind of game. And then later, Bayonetta, I think, really had it. But character action? Maybe. There we go. We finally got there. Gosh. What a doozy of a fight, by the way. I just want to get through everything. And it's like, I used double team 6 times. What an absolute chore of a fight. There are no wild Pokemons. Oh, you snapped. You're a guy? He's a guy? Wait a second. Oh. Hi. Have this. 27. Is that return? Do I remember if that's return off the top of my head? Or it's dig. It's dig, isn't it? No, it is return. Yeah! There are no wild Pokemons in this game. I'm going off to the Colosseum at the top. And maybe I'll get my butt kicked up there as well. Spectacle fighter? Yeah, maybe. There's no healing in here. You didn't put healing in the Colosseum. But yeah, no, it kind of looks like that. Again, I don't have too many thoughts, but I do like the idea of fighting with a wolf. That seems fun. Next one, Brigadine Abyss. It's a sequel to, is this a first-party game, by the way? Yeah, it's an old strategy RPG franchise, back from the PS1. I don't know if it's Sony published or if it's Square Enix published, off the top of my head, but, yeah, no, strategy RPG. You know, yeah, we hit a genre. Here's another one as well, Castlevania Belmont's Curse. They are making a lower-budget 2D game, and it looks, I think it looks great. From a visual standpoint. From a gameplay standpoint, you're gonna have to play the game yourself, I guess, to truly know, but hey, you know, I'm down for, you know, again, more lower budget games like that. I think that there is a gaping hole in the market for cheaper and more, maybe not more thoughtful, but certainly like just games that don't need to take as much time to make. We have so many tools to make games quicker. Why don't we make games quicker? Just make the same things that we used to at a quicker rate. And for lower budgets as well, because we can pull that off now. So I'm pretty sure we can go to the Colosseum fight now, can't we? Yeah, we can, yeah. Oh, only ordinary Pokemon. Wow, that's... Made by the players who made Dead Cells. Oh. The guys who made Dead Cells. Oh. You know, it's got some pedigree then. There we go. So, next one, Control Resonant. This trailer actually showed off a bit of gameplay, and I get very Infamous vibes, where you've got the world with a mini-map, and you go around and you do thing. Or a radar map more than a mini-map. So technically, I guess if we have to use Pokemon that we've purified, then you know, we can't use Entei for the moment. That's fine. And then I have to put one of these level 30s in my party. Oh boy. Noctowl, I hope you're okay. Some have called it, yeah, like Prototype and Infamous sort of sit in the same bucket for me. I never played either of those games, but I did see someone play a little bit of a Infamous one. So we do have that. But yeah, it's a little bit of that. The one thing that I find very, very clunky looking, and I spot this in the trailer, is that they've got a pressing L3 to switch gravity to a certain wall. Also, before I go straight in, we need to... Let's start off with the sweepers. Let's start off with the good ones. Let's bring out Meganium or anything. Yeah, Remedy's usually quite interesting. I never played Alan Wake, any of them. I never played Control. I've only played Max Payne 1. So... yeah, but also, I mean, they're owned by that company, are they not? I love this knockout challenge. It really pumps me up. Thank you, rich boy. So I think it's only natural that they're gonna plug it as an exclusive. But yeah, no, I do agree. I wish they weren't Epic exclusives. Yeah, next one, Crimson Moon. Here's a fun one. If you look up Crimson Moon, you'll find a Steam game someone made in December 2024. So, rip. He's never gonna get this game found ever again. So, I like how we're in this. It's like level 40, and it's like it's still Azurill. It gives no experience. Get there, but like, yeah, geez, these guys are weak as. Yeah, Crimson Moon looked alright. It kind of gave me the Elden Ring Night Rain kind of vibes. If Elden Ring Night Rain was an actual game and not just rehashing the main game with the co-op boss rush kind of element. Oh, you thought this knockout battle was going to be fair? Nah, man, we fighting everyone today. Greb. Thanks to the high mobility compared. Yeah, high mobility definitely was something very, very appealing. And to be fair, you know, we still get low mobility games like GTA 4 is a great example. GTA 4 makes the city feel small. Sorry, makes the city feel big by doing that. But also, GTA 4 wants you to revel in its details, and you're never going to get that if you're flying around. I.e., Saints Row 4, I believe, is a great example. Where, it's not. Saints Row 4 is a fine game, but oh my goodness, you are never going to witness any details in that game, including the soundtrack that only plays in car radios. Because you're never going to drive a car anywhere. We got the Fury! So, there's that. But no, I don't have too much to say about Crimson Moon. You know what I do have much to say about? Saints Row 4. I haven't played Saints Row 4. I did play Saints Row 3, and I just felt it's fine. You know, it is a great character game. We've got a game called Darwin's Paradox. I think we knew of this one maybe already. I think it had already had an announcement But it's also coming out in like 6 weeks, so there is that. And it's coming to Switch too. Also, I looked up, almost all these games are coming to PC. I think the obvious exceptions will be anything that's just a Sony published title. But having, but yeah, quite a bunch of these will be on the Switch or Switch 2 as well. Darwin's Paradox is Octopus game. Imagine Octodad, Dadless Cat. Well, actually, don't imagine that. But you crawl around, you got fun little sections. Hey, it looks great. I like it. There's actually a Solid Snake crossover as well. They announced it, or they had the trailer during a huge ring of Konami games. So I'd actually keep an eye on that one. Keep a tentacle on that one. That one's a good one. Speaking of keeping a tentacle, Dead or Alive 6 last round. Oh yeah, that's the demo now, yeah. Can I just say this battle music gets very hyped. When the Switch was new, I remember there being a decent game where you play as a snake. Probably Snake Pass. Before Darwin's Paradox, that would have been Crimson Moon. You mentioned Crimson Moon. That was it. Anyway, let's fan attack that Psyduck. Dead or Alive 6 last round. Dead or Alive 6 has been out for a while, but this is just a remaster that includes a bunch of DLC in one go, and that's fine. If anything as well, they know what they're doing in that trailer. Between when I mentioned Lemon played Saints Row 4 and Darwin's, I tried talking about Dead or Alive 6, and then I mentioned the music was good. I think. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is coming to PC. That is a PC announcement. It's just the same game. They teased right at the end that they're doing a remake trilogy of God of War. So 1, 2, and 3. Rip the 4th game. Who knows? Will it come to PC? Who knows? But they just teased. They just the big logo. It's whatever. Ghosts of Yotei Legends. This actually looks like a kind of fun DLC for the game. And it's free? I think it's actually a free DLC as well. You get to play as various mythological deities. God of War, Metroidvania. I didn't. PlayStation forgot it. Is it even in this list? No, they took it off the list, I guess. It's not there. I mentioned it briefly. It's like, it looks fine. Oh, in the paragraph? Wow, that is so, like, that is so tiny. They could have even added the trailer, but no, they didn't. Oh well. Also, I heard you like Mudkips. Take that, Zubat. Oh yeah, no, I think that God of War 2D1 looks fine, but it pales in comparison to the Castlevania one. So, anyway, Ghost of Yotei Legends looks fine. John Wick. As a side note, Keanu Reeves is currently filming a documentary about the Cadillac team. I think it's the Cadillac team he's filming. I want to say it was the Cadillac team. But he's at Bahrain. He's doing that kind of stuff there. So good on him. Hopefully we'll see what's going on there. I guess we'll see more about the John Wick game. But hey, you know, John Wick is still marketable enough as a franchise that, like, yeah, you know, you can do it. Also, in the wake of Hitman not being a thing anymore, it's like, hey, you could probably get away with. Well, I know John Wick is probably going to be much more guns blazing action than Hitman probably is, but yeah, it certainly is. Also, my mate said, like, you know, I'm surprised there isn't a John Wick game, and never mind that, like, John Wick is in Payday 2. That's a fun crossover. But also, we got John Wick Hex. We got the puzzle game. No one cares about the puzzle game. The State of Play opened with Kena Scars of Cosmora, I never played the first one, but this trailer was hype for me. I liked it. I really did like it. It looked great. Nah, man. Kena was my jam right here. Also, that was a fairly straightforward Colosseum, even though it was level 40. I think the thing that wowed me with Kena is that it gave me the character platformer vibe that I really wanted. Even though I think felt rather generic. Maybe that's me then. Maybe I'm a very generic guy. But nah, I'm down for that. I am down for this kind of stuff. So all I hope for is that I hope the game has a nice bit of variety and it's well crafted. I heard the first game was good too, yeah. Hopefully it is. Hopefully. So other than Mount Battle, where can I get more levels? Pirate Colosseum probably also exists, but... Also, it's so weird that I had such an easier time at you know, 4 Colosseum fights back to back than just that pre-gym, and it's just because the doubles team spam, I swear. But no, I'm down for that. Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. It's a PS2 game remaster. I haven't played this one. I did play Soul Reaver, but I haven't played Defiance, so I can't tell you if it's a good game or not. It certainly looks like a PS2 game with nicer textures, which is fine, but like, I just hope it's, yeah, I hope it's not that expensive. Which it might be. Did they announce 2 games? I don't think they did, so. Can knock out the challenge. Cancelled sequel. That's nice. I do appreciate when games include demos of things. Or just bonus cut content or anything. That's good fun. Marathon, we mentioned it. The trailer's fine. That's all I gotta say. But you know what the game's gonna be like. The fact they got delayed like so hard, because Marathon was meant to come out at the end of last year. Remember that? So it's and also I will say one thing. I'm glad they call it a server slam. They're doing a server slam on February 26th. Traditionally, people would call it an open beta, but no. You're slamming the servers. You're literally getting a lot of data about how people will play the game, mostly in terms of hardware, because it's kind of too late to change anything too fundamentally about the game. But if you also level 50... Ugh. Ugh. It is a Teddy Ursa. The alpha they did... Well, I mean, there's other games that are under some weird NDAs, like Valve's Deadlock. It's like you're technically not allowed to stream it. Also, I realize there's someone I follow, and he's playing a lot of Deadlock recently, and there's a new character called Rem. He's like a sleepy wizard. And we're very, very solid that Rem is voiced by... Because they haven't announced who the voice actor is, but we're very solid guessing that Rem is probably voiced by the same person who did Ketchero in the Ghost Stories dub. Which makes it all the more better. And if it's not, I wish it were, because that'd be hilarious still. In canon, same character. So, next one, Marvel Tokken. Fighting style. I keep trying to say Tokken like it's Tekken. Or Pokken, I guess. Which is sort of a play on Tekken, is it not? Arc System Works Marvel, yeah. I haven't played enough of their games, or any of the newer games, to really like get a gist of, you know, what makes them click, but you know, it's more Marvel. They announced 4 characters, one of which my mate says looks nothing like what was it? Danger. She looks nothing like her comics. So I'm curious about that one, but at the end of the day, if it plays well, yeah, that'll be all good. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2. Metal Gear Solid 4 is off the PS3, finally. I had this one, which was take a shot every time there was a remaster or port of something. So I think if you're currently at this point, I would be at 4, if we're going alphabetically. I'm only counting it once, even though it includes the PSP game. The PSP game is certainly a PSP game. It really does look like a PSP game, but hey, you know, I'm not seeking any, you know, highbrow remaster recollection of anything. The only thing I'd say is, oh boy, this is really the only thing that we're ever gonna do for Metal Gear Solid going forward, aren't we? It's gonna be endless remasters and re-releases and whatever of the same games again and again, because we dare not try to make a Metal Gear Solid 6 and have it work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they have like the ability to do that. Well, they did, yeah, they did try Metal Gear Survive, but it also sounds like Metal Gear Survive existed, you know, before that. Like, they were making it well before Kojima decided. I mean, it seems like Kojima basically decided to step down knowing that they were sort of leading him out of the role anyways. So it kind of seems like Konami wanted to try and do things without him. Frustration. I hope this does no damage. It did damage. They really like going after Espeon, don't they? Next one, Mina the Hollower. I believe this has been announced for a while, but it looks good. It looks good. The Shovel Knight peeps are probably doing it again with a I guess I'd call it a Zelda-like. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but sure. There's a game called Never. It has a DLC called Never Prologue. It reminds me of I always keep saying not Inside, but the one that came out before. It's free. Yeah, at least it's free. But it's kind of like that kind of Limbo. Yeah, the Limbo platformers, where it's just like you run to the right and it's very artsy. And I will always complain. And there's so many indie games that do this. I always complain that so many of them don't explore the mechanics very well. They introduce it, it's kind of there, and then it's over so quickly. It's like, oh, come on guys, you could have made this game like twice as long. And somewhat harder as well. But, alas. There's a part on this that's just called PlayStation Plus. It's just various games coming on the game collection. One of them is Venba, which I have played. And I beat in 67 minutes. Don't say 6-7, that was exactly how long it took. It's a brain rot meme. It's over. So, Pragmata. We have had tons of Pragmata trailers, but it is coming out in 2 months, and hopefully it's good. I'm 2 fights into this Colosseum of people who are 15 levels above me, and I'm hopefully gonna try and make the way through it. Rage! This shouldn't be a problem because I didn't hit him. Yeah. The world ends with you like gimmick. Hack the planet! Exactly. Oh, Steel Wing's not gonna be fun. Ugh. Project Windless. This is... Who was the devs on this one? They singled out who was the development studio. I don't know. You played Chicken Man. Other than that, it's I guess a Chinese game. You played Chicken Man. Loudred is gonna maybe wreck my... yeah, Loudred's gonna wreck my day, actually. Let's drop a Reflect, actually. I think I'm probably gonna do a setup turn. Craft it. Yeah, that's what I was like, I'm pretty sure I'd heard the developer studio before. Also, Facade. Ugh. Ugh. You know, Montreal. My favorite place in China. But no, it looks okay. But again, it's I kind of consider... I was going to say The Last Guardian. It's like, no, not The Last Guardian. What was the one I said earlier? Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah, it gives me that vibe. Where it's like, oh, you know, it's a action-y game. We'll see when we play it, I guess. So that'll be good fun. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. I think we sort of knew this one. Kind of been leaked. More Dynasty Warriors? Okay. Michael Ansel mentioned it. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. Fun fact, I've never beaten Rayman 1. I got a fair bit of the way through the GBA version, but I would probably like to play the original in some capacity. It is nice that it's got the other console ports. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the music. It does, yeah, it does have the PC-only expansions, which is nice. It doesn't have the music. So that's probably going to be a day one mod for... Not a day one mod for PC, because it's already out. It's going to be a day whatever, but people really want to get into it. People really want to do it. It is most likely a Rise 2, but it's such a shame. So they got the composer who did the music for Rayman Origins and Legends, which is a good pick. You know, he's got the pedigree. Because Ampharos is a beast. Ampharos is an absolute beast. And also, I think Ampharos has a physical defense. We can check Ampharos' stats. Oh my gosh, the Confuse Ray has been the best choice for that one. But hold on, just double check Ampharos' stats. No, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't think Ferret is that strong. That's probably where it's happening there. Even though Ferret is a bit stronger, like, the gains you get from levels continues to be the same numerically. Like, you might still get, like, 1 or 2 stat points per level up. So being, like, how would I say? Yeah, being level 53 compared to 36 is like being level 5 compared to level 3. It kind of feels like that. It's like, oh, like, it's not as much that it's 15 levels apart. It's just that, oh, you know, the proportion, I guess. So am I actually gonna, like, rock my way through this? Because we've got one fight left, and they don't seem to be full stacking a party, and also they don't seem to be having fully evolved Pokemon. So yeah, I think for the most part, I think the Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition, from the looks, it's like, it's fine, but the music is a bummer. So just mod the music in. But I wish they maybe made a note of the brand new soundtrack. They keep saying it's faithful, which is like that's such a weasel word. That's such a weasel, guys. Come on. Let's get rid of the coughing, because I've got the ability to do that. And Vigoroth will be an absolute meme if he starts into himself. Yeah, and also on top of that, remember that these trainer Pokemon will not have effort values, whereas I will. Especially for Umbreon and Espeon, who I've been using to sweep the whole fight instead of training anyone else on my team. Gambaskin! Also, level 55. Jeez, guys, evolve your Pokemon. Do you have 3 or 4 Pokemon? I didn't double check. I can check right now. He's got 4. Okay. Combuskin is gonna be weak to Psychic, so I don't know. Just go in for it again. Might as well just go on with a Feint attack. I think Psybeam will do a good enough damage, and if not, then we'll just send out the... Oh, so close. Ooh, yes! That's good. There we go. Oh! Confusion is my king on this fight, apparently. The Vigoroth's gonna take a fair bit of a beating, unfortunately. Vigoroth is kind of mean because, ooh. Is Overheat the one that deals damage to yourself? I know it deals damage, but, like, does it... Oh, no, it lowers your special attack. Okay. It's not faint. It didn't make him faint, nah. Yeah, we might as well send out Quagsire. Just get rid of the Combuskin, just start dropping some damage in there. He's not having a fun day, Vigoroth, is he? Also, yeah, just for note, Umbreon is faster than Combuskin despite being 16 levels under. So, anyway, next on the state of play is Resident Evil Requiem. Also, nice. If you train all your Pokemon, it'll take a lot longer to... It will. But, I mean, that's why I'm working my way through some of this stuff a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, when I said the game will take, like, 6 streams... oh, I'm not training the Hoothoot. I just brought him in there because, I couldn't bring non-Shadow Pokemon into the fight. So I'm like, well, let's train the other Pokemon. That's why, I'm specifically sending out, Espeon, Umbreon, and I will put a... I mean, Umbreon, I might as well just kind of have around anyways. Maybe I'll bring Umbreon back into the mix. Ampharos is chilling there. Meganium's got the experience share. So I might switch that onto Quagsire at some point if I feel like bringing him along. I'm not too sure. But yeah, let's get Swallow confused. He's glowing. Ooh, Reversal is going to be mean. Okay. But at the very least, you know, we've got like, Swallow, who's most likely, you know, like, not most likely, is weak to electric. Unfortunately, not a great place to send out Meganium. Which is why I guess Meganium has, I might drop the Slam in there. That's why Meganium has, experience share. Ouchies. So, anyway, Resident Evil Requiem is coming out real soon. It looks fine. Oh, please don't take out Umbreon. Ah. That's fine. That's fine. We still got this. But I will say the Resident Evil games are always very nice on the presentation angle recently. So, good on them. It feels like it's been not that long since the last release, but I think it's because they released Resident Evil 4, what, 2 years ago? And then they had 8 a little bit before, and they had 3 a little bit before that, and they had 7 a little bit before that, and they had 2 a little bit before that. They've been doing a lot of games on that engine, and I mean, they've been solid from what I can see, but certainly, yeah, you know, get your fix of survival horror, I guess. So, anyways, Rev Noir, what is this? This is JRPG. They teased it a little bit, and I didn't see any gameplay. They ran around a little bit. So, I don't know. We did the fight. We did the fight. Level 55, no problem. Level 45. Whoa, can't deal with that. I mean, it might be okay. I gotta see some gameplay, though. You are the champion. TMO1, what is that? Is that frustration? No, it's Focus Punch. Oh, I can't remember my TMs. Speaking of gameplay, we could be playing game. Or we might not. I was using Confused Ray a bunch, Blob, so you are correct there. I have a lot of money, by the way, I just want to add. There exists a band called Rev Noir. Yeah, I know, right? I swear I'd heard of Rev Noir before, but I'm pretty sure I am mistaking it for either... I don't know if it's the band or like something else. Renoir, maybe, that's the painter. So I guess we'll go to Mount Battle now. We'll have a crack at doing some fights there, and maybe a little bit high level there. My girlfriend likes Cold Rain, and Rev Noir was one of the 2 pre-bands of the concert we went to. Whoa! It's always good fun seeing an opening act. Sorry, Mount Battle's up here. Oh. The worst part is, like, bands before... I hope that bands like, when you have an opening act, I hope there's something that you generally like. Like, when I went to see, for example, Opeth, we had an opener, Caligula's Horse. Brizzy band, I believe. And, you know, they were fine. They were good. If you like your more prog rock, you'd actually like them a bit. So anyway, let's put Hitmontop in instead of Noctowl. And we'll put Entei in instead of Hitmontop because Hitmontop do be... Is my problem with Hitmontop the fact that he's Listen, I'll put Entei up front. My problem with Hitmontop is that he is dying quick, and I'm not too sure if that's because he is sucking, but I think his stats are great. His stats seem great, it's just that he's getting caught out because I don't have any fighting attacks on him, so I'd prefer to just keep him in the party and drag his bar down. Because he's only got focus energy, which is like, oh, whatever. And also, Leer? Really? Really? It's Entei? He knows Leer? Ugh. So I believe with Mount Battle, you have to do 10 fights in a row? I forgot how many fights you have to do in a row on Mount Battle. Even though it can go up to 100. But I'm pretty sure you stop every 10. I'm not sure if this guy's Pokemon are so low level, though. I mean, we'll see. Oh, they are ridiculously weak. You can't even have any level 16s in this game. Like, you start off with the lowest levels out there, 2 level 25s. I mean, this would be a great opportunity to keep getting Entei, you know, drop his bar a bit, but oh my goodness. I'm not gonna make any experience progress in here at all. We can look it up, actually. If I just type Venus hard and hopefully I get the right... what do I train for Venus? There we go. Mount Battle. Revisit Mount Barrel. I know it's long and boring, but it's the only way to consistently get experience. I think you can restart Mount Battle as well. And that's why it's always a guarantee. I would recommend your Pokemon be at least level 43. Me being underleveled as heck, so... Anyways, what else is in the state of play? Saros. It looks fine. Again, I gotta play it. It's a roguelike. You can't really explain roguelike elements until you play it, I guess. So, I don't know, let's play it. I didn't play Returnal, so I don't know. Silent Hill Townfall. It really convinced me. And Housemarque is a good dev. Yeah, I hope it's good. It's got the guy from iZombie. I watched iZombie. I know the guys from it. Don't ask me why I watched a couple of CW shows. I don't know. It just happened. Never again. New Silent Hill might be promising. It looks fine. It looks very Silent Hill, I guess. We're in a very, very misty town and weird stuff happens and it's spooky. I gotta play Silent Hill in order to truly make much of a comment on survival horrors, I guess. You know what's a genre that I can say stuff about? Star Wars Galactic Racer. That's right. This state of play is for me because we have a racing game. I know it's a Star Wars game, but it's a racing game. Also, this texture, unfortunately, is a bit too JPEG. I see what they're going for. It's overlaid clearly on top of the exact same, like, spinning disc object, but it's like, oh, I know it all. The Star Wars Galactic Racer looked great-ish. Hopefully, racing games, it's like they're make or break if they feel well, if they control well. And you can't tell based on the trailer. Certainly, though, it is very fancy looking. And one thing that racing games, I guess, especially nowadays, they continually struggle with scaling. Because it's very easy to make racing games when the level of detail didn't have to be as high. But now that they have to be higher, you know, better and better quality, you know, it's like you're having to put in details into, you know, places purely because someone might stop or pause or do anything anywhere on the racetrack that they're driving so fast around in. So I don't know, but you know, hopefully it'll be okay. I really hope we have a good racing game. I should really put Hitmontop up front, shouldn't I? I should, yeah. Yeah, let's put him on top. Last one, Yako Shinobi Ops. Yako Shinobi Ops is, it's by the, what's the one? Shadow Tactics. It's by them, isn't it? Is it by them, or is it like it's by them? But, hey, you know, stealth game, I'm down for it. Or no, it's not by them, it's by, is it by people who worked at Tenchu? Or on Tenchu? If it's by them, I'd make... Yeah. I'm not too sure which, like, who is exactly making it. But yeah. Hey, stealth games are always good fun. So, anyways, that's the state of play. They had a lot of, co-op stealth games. It is... Yeah. Oh, no, I'm down for it. Yeah. But that's it. I think that's everything they mentioned and they showed off. But certainly, it was a very nice presentation. They had a bit of everything for a lot of people. They didn't mention VR, and not to say that VR is, like, unwelcome, but it's like, VR is VR. I really cannot, like, sell VR any more than it's VR. If you're gonna show VR stuff... is it dead? Because I did have a game only a few months ago on the last State of Play. Triple kick. Oh, we are hyper mode now, but there's no better time to call for hyper mode. It's just dead. Okay. It's like well, I guess here's the thing: is it dead because there's just no one who cares about it, and then they just don't renew any, or they don't, like, greenlight any more projects? Or is it dead because they didn't greenlight any more projects and there's just really no interest in it now? I mean, it's a bit of both, but you know what I mean? Like, did the lack of, like, new games and new projects cause it to fail faster? Or did it just fail and they just pulled out? I don't know. Yeah. I was helping my mate out with some Sporkle quizzes. We were looking at, like, best-selling Vita games, and there were 7 games that sold more than 1 million copies, and 6 of them were sold in the first few, like, were released in the first few months. They were all 2012 releases, and the other one was Minecraft. It's just like, yeah, like, of course the PS Vita flopped. It never had anything beyond its launch lineup, basically. It's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. The Japanese liked it a bit longer. They kept it going for a bit longer, but... yeah, it's like, well, the Japanese also kept the Dreamcast going on, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you know, it only goes for so long. By the way, what was the name of the person who passed away only recently from Sega? I forgot his name, unfortunately. I'm gonna look it up, hold on. I'm just gonna type Hideki Sato, that's the one. Yeah. So rip Hideki Sato. A lot of people are attributing a lot to him. I saw a comment on Hacker News that said maybe people are over attributing to him. Like, he didn't he did very design older consoles, but he was more of a kind of a supervisor slash executive on some of the later ones. So it's like, it's not exactly his decision to design the Saturn the way it did. But he certainly made the final call to say, hey, yeah, that was fine. So definitely, he's got his finger in that pie.
Big guy, you don't look very strong.
Okay, sure. Better. But yeah, no, overall, the state of play was fairly solid. It had a lot of titles I thought were kind of, you know, whatever. We'll see. Bit of interesting ones. Obviously, they gotta talk about Marathon because I guess they did buy Bungie, so they're gonna make it well known. Kazuo Osawa, the composer for Kunio-kun and River City Rain. Oh yeah, rip. I think every single one of my Pokemon, like, playthroughs on stream have had a grinding section in it. I'm not too sure if this is quite the same grinding, but... Won't it be great to play an RPG that doesn't involve any grinding anymore? And think about it. I could play Dragon Quest IV next. Ooh. I think Dragon Quest IV actually hits that fine line really well. Or at least the DS version does. Let's get down to business. So, but yeah, no, solid state of play. I liked it. Yeah. I think that's all I gotta say on that. Any final thoughts on state of play? That's about it, yeah. I do have a very small update on the Shutaro. Is that 2 eyes or leader with an L? Ah. Rip. I did feel this where it's like, you know, we're kind of at that age where it's like, yeah, we're gonna have 2 L's. Oh, double L. Two eyes. Long eye. The Twitch font is terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I should get my 2 eyes checked out, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit sad because it's like, I know I'm getting to that age where it's like, there's going to be a bunch of people who are copping it. Look, we had one get to me, which was the 4th person in Black Midi. He left after the first album. Cancer's always annoying. Did we have someone else who died of cancer? The guy from 3 Doors Down last week as well, yeah. I mentioned him last week, so. But yeah. Yeah. So I'll move on from celebrity deaths. Celebrity deaths always gets me down because it's like, oh, the guitarist, they had 2 guitarists on the first album, had probably committed suicide. So it's a bit of a shame because he is very young. Probably born in '99, so ouch. Very, very young. That's a demonetize. Yeah, the Castlevania 2D game really made me want to play Bloodstained. So I do want to give that a go at some point, yeah. Wooper's so happy and we don't know why. He's so happy to have no arms. But then again, you know, it's like a tadpole. Tadpoles ain't got no hands. Trapinch technically doesn't have hands. Like flat nubs. So, but yeah. So in the world of our inevitable AI collapse, we had the guy who made Claude-bot, then called OpenClaude, and then called, or eventually, sorry, Maltbot, and then OpenClaude, all the same product. So remember that he changed the name of the project because Anthropic said it sounded too much like Claude. And I kind of agree, sure. But he got hired by OpenAI, that guy. So not that he's working for the competitor, but it's like, yeah, OpenAI basically just like went in for it. You know, I was like, good on him. Good on him for... Oop. No brothers. But OpenAI, or really all this stuff, it's like, you know, I wish him the best. I think part of it as well is that I think I saw someone say, good on the OpenClaude guy, because he probably would have been overwhelmed by the amount of demand for his program. Suddenly people want more features, people want more stuff going on, he, you know, he's only one guy. He's not going to be able to support that forever. So basically selling the project to a foundation and being able to work somewhere for the pedigree that he has is, my younger bro. It's good on him for Mutos. Ooh, it's a fun word. It's a good outcome for this guy. I don't have a younger sister, no. I got an older sister. She's shown up on old recordings. Again, deep Biendeo lore. Because the way is so here's an explanation. So the way this used to work is that I used to speak English, my man. Life goals, I guess. Yeah. The way I used to record stuff, the oldie videos, my house used to have like a recreational room, and in that recreational room, it had double doors, so at least you can kind of sound block it out a decent bit. It's not the most like sound blocked out. It was enough where it's like you can close the doors and get a bit of privacy to, you know, to record some stuff. I would sort of temporarily borrow my mum's laptop because I didn't have a computer in the room, and I would basically, I think I used the laptop webcam to record a couple of games off, like on the TV at first, and just use the laptop mic, and then, which, you know, it goes as well as it did. And then also my mum had like a camcorder, and it recorded to like SD cards, big fat SD cards actually, which is nice fun. So we just, I just was like, oh, can I record some stuff and do it? And she was like, oh, okay, it's all good. I don't think I exactly told her that that stuff was ending up on YouTube, but, you know, she was fine with it at the end of the day. Hopefully Hitmontop is free of this after the next fight, actually. But oh my goodness, Entei's got a very long shadow bar, so he's never getting free. Eventually, at some point, I would also start sort of borrowing my my dad's. He had a Yeti, so I started using that, and then I bought a Yeti of my own because I liked it, and I'm still using it to this day. This mic is probably like, it might actually be like 12 years old now, and it's still working. I haven't even replaced the detachable cable. I'm very surprised. Straight from the Himalaya. Exactly. But yeah, eventually I sort of tried to figure out how to use a capture card, and then I had like an external one that I used, but it was very shoddy, very weird, and so I've got like a couple of videos near the end of my time where it was very weird. I had a weird setup as well. I had an old HP desktop. I unfortunately don't have it anymore. But on the front, it sort of pretended like it was a media hub. This was back in the Windows Vista days, and they really wanted it to be a media hub. So what it actually had was a capture device-ish on the front that would take RCA input, and you could play it in Windows Media Center, which was their full screen, like, kind of thing there. So you'd have the computer as like, you know, like your how would I put it, like an entertainment center, and then you'd plug like, you know, like a DVD player or something into that if you didn't have a DVD drive. And it was very curious, but I realized you could actually like film a game console off of it, but it wasn't that great quality. It was really shoddy. I don't know why it was there. I didn't have it on a follow-up computer, so I just added some capture cards and stuff. I went through a bunch of ones before I actually went with the name brand ones. And to this day, I still don't know what's the best capture card to have. I have liked my Ava Media one, but no Linux drivers has definitely been a bit of an ouch. So I'm curious what would be the better one to go with in the future. But that's fine, you know, whatever. But yeah, at some point I started just doing everything in my bedroom. And so I just drag everything into the bedroom and start recording. But there were a couple of times when I had a recording and my sister would be watching TV in the same room as I'm doing the recording, and I would be very adamant. I was like, you can't watch TV while I'm doing the recording, I gotta do the recording, all that stuff. None of it was live, so you could always edit it, but obviously if you didn't have a good take for getting your game footage, and especially when you didn't have when you didn't have the game audio isolated, you can't fix it really in post, so you just gotta hope for the best that Your sister doesn't botch it up. She was nice. She wouldn't watch TV most of the time, but she would be like, no, I want to sit here and relax, and I'll be doing stuff on my laptop or playing stuff on a DS in the back. And she's in there on a few recordings, so if you go back, and you might actually like hear her say some stuff back there. And I sometimes like just openly had a conversation with her in those old recordings, so that was good fun. But yeah, no, nowadays it's like, you can't fit her in the same area. You gotta get her own mic if you're doing that. Even though you saved me, I'm gonna fight ya! Okay, sure. This certainly does go on, though, this mountain battle. The worst part is that I'm pretty sure there's another dungeon that, like, the trainer levels are not as high as they are. Well, they're certainly much higher than here, but, like, they're not level 45. I'm just getting my butt kicked by level 45 Pokemon, so it's like, hopefully these Colosseums has been enough, and I'll sort of leave it there, because... Or for Mount Battle, even though, you know, level 20s, I don't really think it's getting me that far. But this will allow me to purify him on top, and hopefully he's gained a few levels, being out in front. Which might make him a little more pertinent. And also know at least one good fighting type attack, please. But yeah, two other notable news. Give me some notable news. Also, 5 Pokemon. Ooh. It's really up in the ante on me. He's really going at it. Yeah, we've got some inevitable AI collapse stuff I also want to mention, but that'll be for later, for after the Fetty news block. Also, I gotta talk about Shining Wisdom. Some footage of a 25-year-old crossover of Space Station 5. I think I knew of the existence of this, but I didn't know like what was in it. I've only played Space Channel 5 Part 2 a little bit. Which always is weird that they remastered Part 2 for PC and stuff, but they didn't remaster... So, yeah, Space Channel 5, yeah. Did I just instinctively say Space Channel 5 instead of Space Station 5? But, yeah. I only played it a little bit, so... You've cleared Area 1! Someone will give you Poke Coupons in the break room. Look at this, like, floating room here. It's just chilling here. You've cleared Area 1! Have some coupons! No, I'm good. There we go, so we can teleport out. But I think this is what they mean by like, you know, it takes some time, but at the very least you can start from a later area. Anyway, let's purify... It always gets me, that one's really quiet. Let's purify Hitmontop. It's only about a minute, but it's neat. I don't know why there's a gap on that on my end. I'll just add as well, one game I've been playing a lot this week, I guess. Yeah, it's really just been a week. It's been Hyrule Warriors on the Switch. And it kills my thumb a bit. And also, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there forever, aren't I? There's way too many levels. Holy crap. I'm going to be there absolutely forever. So, there's also going to be so many DLC characters that you can't unlock on the Switch version until so much later, because the way they did the progression was that they made the DLC levels, or the DLC like areas, much... they made those areas much higher level than, I guess, the base game stuff. And then they also tucked away the new characters introduced by the 3DS DLC. He got agility. Nice. Is that a free level? No, he didn't even get a level. They tucked away the characters. Some of them are at the end of the adventure map. It's like, you gotta work so hard to get some of these characters. So it's going to be a bit of a chore if I wanted to find or unlock them and get there. But Hyrule Warriors is like, you'll get there eventually. You will grind it out, you will eventually get there, and then you'll be fine. But until then, you will not be fine. It will be painful. So, I think Hitmontop Entei will probably be a good lineup at the start. So he's got agility. Does he have a fighting attack? He's got triple kick, yeah. How much damage does triple kick do on? Is it 20 and 40? It seems a bit weird. Finally, a mod for the PC, a recompilation of Jack and Axel 1 who plays Gordon Freeman. That's like the Half-Life 1 mod for Need for Speed Most Wanted. But it's good fun that we're getting weird stuff on the PC recompilation projects. I'm enjoying that. So gosh, I gotta posture check a bunch today. I like sit down, I look to the left, and then it's like, ooh. I'm curious how that works for most of the game, but I think, when did I play it? Like 2 years ago? Was it 2 years or at the beginning of last year? It's been a bit. Probably in due time. Mods creators have, I gotta save. Save. I'm about to get my butt kicked. I gotta save. Should I go and buy more Ultra Balls? I might as well just buy more Ultra Balls. Someone's gonna tell me off for that one, and that's fair. There are some games, though, that like people know so inside and out that making mods that do weird stuff like that just seems very second nature. I mean, if you asked me to do something with Spyro the Dragon, I'd be like, yeah, hands down, yeah. I think the Ultra Balls are the best balls I can get. Yeah. So, I could definitely afford at least 10 Ultra Balls. I might as well just have those for the legendaries. And then, we'll grab a few more Pokeballs. Why not? Woo! Technically, some of these other balls will be better, depending on what they are. I don't think a net ball actually does more than 2 times, so it is cheaper than an Ultra Ball, and effectively will give you the same rate as an Ultra Ball on Water type, which in this case would help, but you know, how many Water types are there left in the game to catch? Hyper Ball. Ooh. Confusingly, they've put Great Ball above Pokeball. They've ordered it alphabetically on me. And then they proceeded to not order these alphabetically, so I don't know what's up with this. Timer Balls, I do not have time to do it. And Nest Ball, I don't think is ever going to be useful in this game, is it? So, leave the buying there. So, but yeah, so I played maybe not this past week, it's probably been a couple of weeks, through Shining Wisdom on the Sega Saturn, which is the first of various Shining games on the Saturn. They also released a dungeon crawler called Shining the Holy Ark, and then they released Shining Force 3 times, but only once if you are American or European, 3 times if you're Japanese. But I played Shining Wisdom, which was the first one. This was going to be a Sega Mega Drive game, but they ended up porting it to the Saturn and only releasing it to the Saturn. But it's effectively a Zelda-like. It's got Zelda mechanics. It's got kind of your heart containers, and you get more throughout the game. You get new items, which you use to solve dungeon puzzles, and you end up with a boss at the end of every dungeon. It's neat. It's fairly solid. It's got an incredibly annoying mechanic, which is in order to attack things, you have to build up a power bar or a charge bar by mashing the B button, and then you can hold it while it's at its like peak so that you don't have to keep mashing it. Also, you have to use that to sprint. In order to get anywhere in any due time, you have to have mashed the B button enough to build that bar up. And then when you attack, you have to build that bar up again. That's I didn't chat to the other guy again because he's chilling back there. Whoops. And that gets very annoying. Your thumb will be very sore after Shining Wisdom. It will be. It's also a bit obtuse. I think some of the puzzles, some of the dungeons are just that borderline a bit too complex. I think it's just because when you die, you get teleported back to the beginning of the dungeon. The process is quick, but it is like, yeah, it takes a bit of time, and then you have to understand where everything is, and I think some of it's a little too zoomed in. It's a bit hard to watch and see. The boss fights don't throw you off too much, but especially as well, later in the game, you'll get some items that are like elemental items, and they give other items abilities. And so you just need to contextually know, you just need to know what these abilities are and what they do. And nothing in the game really tells you what they are, you just really need to figure it out. Which I would say, oh, you know, maybe this is just the hardcore element of the game, but it's like, well, regular items are taught in a very natural way, and sometimes even said outright to you in sort of a tutorial context, but then I don't know why, when you get the elemental effects, it's like, no, figure it out, bro. Figure it out. So, it's kind of, oh, snap, he's not gone with the same ones at first. Part of me does want to keep Entei out. Does Entei know a fire attack? I've just completely blanked on that one. No, he doesn't still, so, the only reason why I have him is because, well, I guess Vileplume can be taken out with, nah, I'll still send out Quagsire. And, oh, he's gonna absolutely annihilate everyone else. Meganium just gets to go first. Treasure game, Bang Eye. Oh, okay. There we go. But yeah, Shining Wisdom has some of the proggiest Saturn music I've heard in a long time. It's insanely, like, jumpy. It's all over the place, and it's incredible. Definitely give it a listen just for funsies. Oh, we Tornin in the first turn. Okay. But I need to, we need to really get rid of the Steelix, like, moment one. Treasure games are usually good, yeah. Because this Steelix was such a massive problem, especially using Earthquake on everything. And Attract is the worst thing ever as well. But you can't really do anything about it other than bear through it. And he is just going to spam Earthquake, because other than having Noctowl, it's not like I'm going to have another flying type to tank these hits. Plus also him using Earthquake clears everyone else out. Little Master 2. Not to be confused with the character from Xenosaga. If I had $1 for every time I mentioned Xenosaga today, I'd have $2. Oh no, Quagsire's gonna get whooped. If Steelix is faster, and Steelix is oh, well, never mind. It's part of a small franchise of games, and every other game had a track. Well, there you go. Now we've got one. Well, at least Delcatty can't ruin my day. Gosh, I really want the Steelix out of the way. Does that mean Quagsire's going to attack here? Ooh, Vileplume. Ooh. Oh, we got past it. Okay, okay. I really want to get rid of the Steelix, dang it. So let's... Entei's gonna get whooped though, so let's switch to Espeon and hope that the Earthquake isn't too potent, but at the end of the day, you know, who's gonna get whooped by Earthquake? Everyone. The answer's everyone. Oh wait, you're gonna use it on Quagsire, so never mind. I mean, it was gonna die anyways. But it is a shame. It is a shame. Who would be good at taking this out? I guess we'll send out Hitmontop. I don't know. He's gonna get whooped in some capacity. So we've knocked out Delcatty. And she's still got Bennett somewhere in there. Hopefully this Intimidate will help. Oh my goodness. Okay, you are going to kick that Steelix in the face. And hopefully we get rid of Vileplume. But Vileplume is a very bulky Pokemon. So yeah, I was not expecting Vileplume to get whooped in one go. Come on. Okay, that's not much damage. That's a little bit more. Oh, a little more. We need a little more. Gosh, what is it? What is with you and Attract? I mean, I'm okay with Taunt because it means that, like, I'm still gonna go first on both of these moves. It's just that, yeah, of course, Attract is gonna do that. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. We're Gucci. And then this gives me at least a little more free reign to catch Suicune. Also, rip Vileplume. That fainting animation is just brutal, isn't it? So, yeah. Would I recommend Shining Wisdom? It's fine. It's pretty alright. It stands on its own, because none of the other Shining games are like this. Now you can talk about the AI bubble approaching the needle. I'll get to that in a moment, yeah. But yeah, I'd certainly recommend giving the soundtrack a listen.
Before I forget.
Are you sure? Yeah, are you sure that is it? Agility's not gonna help me, so we'll just do a kick. And I just want Bayonet to leave, so I'm gonna use Psybeam. Bayonet's probably gonna whoop me with a Shadow Ball, but I've got at least oh, I mean, you're gonna use Shadow Rush, so oof. Two of the most requested. Oh my goodness, we finally got a... Not Pokemon Clove. That was a bit of a weak triple kick, wasn't it? Especially when it only hits twice. Is this it for Espeon? Yeah. Psychonauts. Oh yeah, I forgot about Ente's still sitting there. I assume Suicune probably has a... a water type attack. Probably would make sense, so I'm just gonna try and clear out Bayonet still. 300 plus requests. I feel like there's always a lot of attention when you do have a highly requested set like that finally come out. I did get a lot of attention with Brain Age when that one came out. Gosh, it's like a pitiful amount of damage, isn't it? Also, we're really going to deal with Attract on this one? Oh, what is it with you and Attract? Oh my goodness. Can I at least land the hit? There we go. There we go. Okay. We're Gucci. Alright, we're now in catching mode. And I've still got a bit of a wiggle room. So, I will use Hitmontop's turn to start a catch. Let's just go with a regular Pokeball. Let's see what happens on a regular one. And then we'll drop a Thunder Wave to make this a bit easier for later. Threads of Fate. I did see Threads of Fate, yeah. I don't know if I said this last week, but I am now officially done with my Guitar Hero stuff. Like, we're done. It's over. It's all clear. They're on the lock-in. Or signed off, I guess. So, me using Thunder Wave, also that. Time to do Band Hero. Why is it always Band Hero that's the next one? Why not Guitar Hero 5? I do want to raise a discussion about whether it should be Guitar Hero 5 or Band Hero that gets the DLC. Because both can play the DLC, but Band Hero probably has the better engine. I guess. But it'd be weird, because technically I would have to do Van Halen before Guitar Hero 5. I know I'm using Pokeballs right now, but... He's using Shadow Rush. He's just naturally bringing his health down all the time. I might as well drop a triple kick, because it wasn't doing that much damage. Let's start using the Ultra Balls. It is weird. It is a weird one. The secret is that, the other sad thing as well is that, not the sad thing, but like one thing I sort of was keeping an eye out for is, was the full combo subset going to be the highest pointed set on the site? And I'm shy by like 100 points. Unless I reconsider a couple of points in there, but I was keeping an eye out. I was like, am I going like too overboard or? But nah, it seems fine. Time to rescore. Yeah, exactly. It feels right, but I'm not too sure. I feel like I'm pointing a bit more than the Rock Band one. But at least on guitar, I did find Rock Band easier, so I don't know. This has to be clean, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. At least we got second time the charm on getting Suicune. At least we got there. At least we got there. I'm so glad that that didn't go out live on the air. It was worth it. Fighting a bunch of level 20s was worth it. Run away! How dare you? How could I get bested by a mere boy? Remember this? I'll get you back for this. Oops, I dropped the folder key. The Ein file.
Final report. Some interesting discoveries were made about the purification process. There are several ways to cause the opening of the heart's door, and the resulting effects appear to differ with the original nature of the Pokemon. Also, as the purification process advances, the Shadow Pokemon regains its moves and its original nature. When the purification process is complete, the Pokemon regains all the experience points it has accumulated, perhaps even enough to level up. By effectively using these features, it may be possible to create even more powerful Shadow Pokemon. Okay, sure. Don't put Epst at the... Oh. Gosh, I got so many people, like, talking about that to me, and it's just like... I don't know. I read a bunch of conspiracy theory things, and it's like, oh my gosh. We need new conspiracy theories that are coming true. Ah. Now, to be fair, I love conspiracy theories in the sense that, like, they're just theories. They're just like, oh, whatever. You know, like, what if people acted like this? Or what if, like, things were this way? Eventually, you throw enough darts that one of them is going to be true. You know what I mean? Like, of course, that's naturally going to be the thing. We won't be delayed. No, it doesn't seem like it'll be delayed. The tooling has gotten better over time as well. So I think it'll be fine for a general rollout, like, just if it launched without any games. But also on top of that, like, other than server load, I really don't think there's any reason why, you know, they wouldn't have the Wii rollout go on time. Especially given how many games we've got confirmed for the lock-in, for the rollout. Literally 100 sets. No, the artist goes right. It's the eldest that goes the other way. No, I did the 101st set. I didn't do the 100th one. That's all good, Blob. Have a good one. Happy Chinese New Year. No, in the list it's 101. Go back. It says 101. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's been a while since I played New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I should give it a replay. It isn't ready. Oh, it's not ready yet. Dude, actually, you know what's the worst part? Hold on. Ah. Actually, hold on, let's just go back to the computer over here. I want to add Suicune to the team. Like, it seems like such an obvious one to add to the team. Yeah, I can't R-disc the other side. It's just the UFO goes back. Yeah, the L disc. I can't take the L just yet. Yeah, we got Suicune. You know what this means? We build it up again. Sorry, Quagsire, you are now subbed out as the resident water type. But also, you were kind of copying it quite a fair bit. It seems like everyone's got a grass type somewhere. It's not mine. They pinged the other person about the 100 set. Ah, it didn't stay in. Fragile Dreams, farewell. There you go. But that's coming up soon. That's coming up in, what is it, 4 weeks? So it'll be good. It'll be good when it's all ready. Also, should I swap the... Probably don't need to swap the don't need to swap the experience share. Just keep it on Meganium. Meganium continues to get love. The subset was 100th. You got Mandela'd. Or you didn't get Mandela'd. It was Sting miscounted at first, and I said like, no, actually, because ironically, he missed one of my sets because I did two sign-offs in the same day. He only counted the first one. Look at that Quillfish poster. Look at this Slackoff poster. Look at this Lotad poster. Look at this. Oh my gosh, can I tell what that is from a distance? I can't tell what that is. It's a bit blurry. We've been doing well, Quillfish isn't even 3rd gen, so I don't know what that is. Well, that's Aggron. And that's a Zigzagoon. Okay, sure. But how nice, we can unlock this door. Which, I guess, means I can just save at a slightly more convenient angle. Yeah, I mean, I hope DOS is next. What if I go out the wrong door? She's going under the under. I'm surprised that Wii was the next one. It makes sense, because, I mean... You know, like, when I say the tooling got better, it's more that just the Wii is more draw on the system, and so it starts pointing out the race conditions a bit more in the original integration code. There's a binary message in the latest Wii report. I didn't actually check. It says box. Box, box, box. It's because we're talking about Formula 1, which is back, baby! They're at Bahrain, except Sky Sports only broadcasts the last hour of each of the 3 days, so I didn't actually see that much. But it looked cool. It's not. I can guarantee it ain't Xbox. Listen, if you can't even get Project Gotham Racing 2 running at full speed, yeah, it's over. But yeah, no, Formula 1 is back. It's coming up real soon as well, but now we've got to actually see cars in action, as well as I'm a bit more aware of the... Also, I gotta catch Gligar now. I'm a bit more aware of how the mechanics work. It's curious that it's a fairly different... Oh boy, what do we do here? I want to get rid of the Gligar because he's really high level. Hopefully Entei now knows, like, at least Ember, please. I like your Gligar, but oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness, Gligar. I'm a bit worried that Entei would probably kill Gligar in one hit. So how about let's just use it on Shroomish. There's a new claim. Still paying attention. A new claim. Everyone likes sending new claims. But yeah, no, you know, so now I'm a bit more aware of the new changes. So in particular, the cars are a little lighter. They're a little slimmer. They're visually much slimmer, which I think might help the, I guess, idea of overtaking, because they used to be wider, in a way that you wouldn't quite... I don't know, it was wider, but it's because you had, like, just the supports be wider. I don't know, it's hard to explain there. Rapid Spin did nothing, by the way, so I guess maybe Hitmontop is just not the best choice. But who would be? Maybe Espeon using Return? Maybe. So, also, isn't it weird that the team's level 35 again? Like, apart from the Shadow Pokemon, it's like... Oh. There we go. Knock out that Shroomish. Knock him out of the park. But yeah, so now there is no drag reduction system on the cars, but instead they've got they can actively change the front and rear wing angles, I think during certain corners, like it's DRS, and then also, well, sort of like it's DRS, I guess. And then also on top of that, there's like an overtake detection point. So if you're within 1 second of the person from behind, then you can, I believe you're in overtake mode for the lap, and that allows you to use extra energy of your battery to, well, anywhere on the lap. So you don't actually have to do it just on the next straight and like line yourself up on just the next straight. It's like you can technically pull it off whenever. And you can also defend it whenever. So I think that's how it works. I need to read a little more into it, and I think... oh, yeah, Max ripped on it, but also I get it. But Max is, you know, he's doing it out of love. He likes the sport, but he wants to see the best. And adding lots of weird bells and whistles on, like, it's got to be easy enough for people to understand, but it also needs to be easy enough for, well, I mean, the driver's going to handle it, but it's like, it shouldn't really be too many knobs and whistles kind of stuff. It should be somewhat straightforward. But I don't know. I mean, they've had... Because before DRS, they briefly had KERS as a manual system. Where it was like, that was literally just like a push-to-overtake system. Like IndyCar. Also, as a side note, did anyone watch the Bathurst yesterday? The 12-hour Bathurst. I know it's a very Australian thing to talk about the Bathurst. Thunder Wave's not going to do anything, but if I just start throwing Pokeballs, maybe I'll catch them. Not too sure. Gligar, I think, is a tougher one to catch. Oh, it's gonna catch rate at 60, actually. That's not too bad. Okay. Straight out of Bathurst. Yeah. But yeah, no, the Bathurst... Not Bathurst. Bathurst. Yeah, the first race of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, which is a 12-hour race at Bathurst, which is probably Australia's most prestigious... I guess circuit. It's a street circuit. It's just the road. It goes up a hill and back down the other side, on the other side of a farm. It's a wild track. It's great fun when you're on it. It's a weird one because I'm not too sure actually how many spectators you can really like get going along there. It's not like there's like big grandstands all over the place. It's like it's kind of at various parts on the track and just mostly at the base, but yeah, the 12-hour challenge is interesting because the clock starts at 5:45 a.m. local time, and I got up early to watch that. And before the sun rose, someone ran into a kangaroo at 250 km an hour. The front of his car is, like, caved in. The glass probably broke. That kangaroo is vaporized. That kangaroo does not exist anymore. He's gone. He's out of there. And he got out very shaken, and it was on the first lap, so it's like, yeah, okay, I don't know exactly. He got out, and like they got out without much incident there, but he seemed very shaken. And honestly, like, you know, it's because if you run into a kangaroo, you're not bracing for impact. You're gonna just like feel a thunk. It's gonna really slow the car. It's gonna impact on you as well. That's really gonna spook you a bit. And he seemed a bit spooked. They thought he was covered in oil, but I think in hindsight, that's a lot of kangaroo blood. I don't think he's having a fun time on that one. Yeah, this Gligar's not liking being caught, but that's fine. We'll throw our Pokeballs at him. We'll get there eventually. And at least we've got a easy thoroughfare to getting the heals. Oh, easy. There we go. I'm not supposed to lose. So for reference as well, I looked it up. I made sure there are exactly 40. If you mean, okay, yeah. Wah! But I want to cry. Oh, okay. There's 48 Shadow Pokemon in this game. So what does that make us? 22? I don't know if I'm going to catch every single one of them, because for reference, one of them is literally the reward for purifying all the other 47. So I don't actually know if I'd get there. And I think you do get one for getting all the way to the end of Mount Battle. Which then begs the question if you're like... it's like, Blendo, are you going to beat this game in 6 streams? I'm not too sure if that's actually going to happen given how long I've been taking here. I've definitely got a clear endpoint, although I'll sort of wobble a bit past it given how much I didn't really make that much progress in this stream. But we'll continue down this staircase because definitely I will be making progress as I descend. Because as it turns out, somewhere down the staircase, you wouldn't believe it, another trainer.
What the? What's this little boy and girl doing all the way down here? What's Frina doing up top?
Oh. Lyax. And then 9 hours into the race, we had someone, they scraped, I think they scraped the wall. No, they didn't scrape the wall. Maybe they had a puncture or something. Maybe they did hit the wall very early. But they had a mechanical issue on particularly after the chicane at the top of the mountain. And they bailed. They were like, we gotta bail out of this one. Curly is gonna wreck Hitmon top stage, so actually let's not leave Curly out and I just sent Sweeping out. Yeah, might as well. Actually no. Because Gloom's gonna do something. Espeon it is. But yeah, no, he kind of spun out. The crash is fine, whatever. But he's awkwardly perpendicular, a little off the racing line, so people can naturally dodge him. But like, the marshalling there is very old school. They don't have really like electronic boards and cameras all over the place up there. And I'm not too sure if every car has a camera that they can look into at the same time. So the marshals there immediately started waving double yellows as the car stopped, you know. But they've got to wait until they get the signal to do a red flag. Because if you start waving a red flag and it's not actually a red flag, you're going to get told off as a marshal. But yeah, they started, like, they were waving double yellows, and then it's like people went like, oh, that's a bit of a blind corner, and no one else further up was giving a yellow, so they're effectively braking into the yellow flags, and then they have to dodge this car. And in the attempt of the guy moving slightly out of his car, another guy hit him, and it's like, oh boy, that's a T-bone collision into a braking zone. Also, Stantler. Listen, I kind of like Stantler, but oh boy, he's not a choice for me. I wouldn't use Stantler in regular play. Roselle's angry. Pout. Pin missile. The best kind of attack, the one that takes forever. So he got T-boned. The shrapnel, especially on supercars, is much worse than the actual like impact itself. So I don't think it wasn't too bad, but he seemed very shaken. He got out and he really couldn't like. He seemed sore. He didn't seem like he was quite oriented right, and so I think he did have a hospital visit. Although I think he mostly just needed time and water to recover a bit. But it's a secondary hit that really didn't need to happen. I don't think, I don't think. Any follow-up collisions in a motorsport race really should be avoided. If the car is spun and is perpendicular, that's gotta, you need a yellow flag further up. You really, really need to have someone further up basically go, please, you gotta move. You gotta get everyone slowed down. And they eventually red flagged it like 30 seconds, I think, after that crash. So I think everyone started seeing the shrapnel and the slower cars earlier, and they realized by then. But it's like no one got a signal to slow down. That was just cars driving naturally slower based on an incident, like it would be in, like in real life. Well, the problem with the safety car is that it's a long lap, Bathurst. It's about 2 minutes 7, I think, at race pace. I think Spa, but because the cars are slower, it's technically a longer lap. Actually, it's probably just as long as Spa circuit. And this would have been at the far end of the track. So, like, you couldn't get a safety car there in time. They could have, I guess, deployed the safety car and slowed everyone down to a delta. But I think that needed more than, you know, bunching everyone up. That needed, like, proper cleanup. I'm gonna drop a Thunder Wave on this one and just keep throwing Pokeballs. We'll get the Stantler. We'll get him. We'll get him.
Watcha!
But yeah, it's like, it's not. It's no bueno to have that kind of stuff happen, because, like, the visceral, you know, seeing like a car crash on motorsports, it's like, oh, it's neat. It's like, you know, they're driving at the edge, so obviously we're gonna naturally get incidents like this. But you shouldn't. I don't want, like, T-bones. I don't want, like, people getting double collisioned, that kind of stuff. It's like, he's crashed, whatever, we need to get him out quickly as possible. And especially as well, like, the worst part is the way the track is that it's got, like, kind of taller concrete barriers to hold the cars in, but there's no crowds on either side of that part of the track. So the concrete barriers are kind of like, I want to say, they're probably about 80 centimeters high. Maybe not 80, like a meter. It's like you can climb over them, but, like, a car isn't going to go over them. A Stantler is a bit resistant to the Pokeball. Is Stantler harder to catch than Gligar? Let's double check. Oh, it's got catch rate of 45. He is hard to catch. Also, there's 4 Pokemon along the staircase I just want to add that we need to catch. This will be the second one, and Stantler is the hardest of the 4, so hey, you know, it's not gonna get worse than this. But he is a bit temperamental. He is really temperamental. Oh my goodness, Stantler. But yeah, like, he needed to crawl out of the car, and then he's kind of crawling on all fours because of his, you know, his disorientation. And he can't crawl up the concrete barrier on the side of the road that he was on, because there's a hill. Like, he would effectively climb up the concrete and then just be at a hill. So he needs to go across the road to get off the concrete barrier. And, I mean, good thing that, like, the cars were going slow at that part, and they could finally, like, slow down, but, like, or, you know, they didn't, you know, they wouldn't have hit him, but it's like, man on track needed to get out of his stationary car. Makes sense. Needs to get out of there. But, like, he couldn't, you know, he had to cross in front of cars. If anyone remembers in the Mexico Grand Prix, when they were clearing the part, and, like, there was, like, just an object on the road, and Liam Lawson was driving around there, and he didn't have any signal that there was a marshal, like, on the road there, and so he was like, oh my gosh, that was very dangerous. I think he could react. He could probably have dodged the car, or dodged the person at Mexico City quite easily. Like, I think, how would I put it? There's the 3-second rule I usually have, which is, like, if that person's standing in the spot and a car drives through where they were standing 3 seconds ago, it's too close. And I think it violated the 3-second rule, but it did, like, I think Liam Lawson had plenty of opportunity to react to this, you know, person being there. It's just, yeah, a person shouldn't have been there. And obviously, like, you're a race car driver. You do not expect people to be on the track. And, like, you really can't be, like, out of all the things in Formula 1 and all of these motorsport things, you can't be thinking that a person's going to be on the track, because you're not going to drive. You're not going to drive fast if you think there's a person. Jerry was a race car? Yeah, true, yeah. What is the point in paralysis? It never feels like it's actually doing anything. I think it's because, like, wild Pokemon feel much more, like, common, and they're not, like, whittling themselves down. And so whenever you're in a fight and you've gone through a bunch of other Pokemon, and you're suddenly up to the shadow Pokemon, and you're like, I'm throwing Pokeballs over and over, and it's not working, and you've got to use Call every time. I feel like it just adds time. It makes it feel like Pokemon are harder to catch, but really it's just the process takes longer. And you're sort of hard encouraged to catch them all. You know, that's what Pokemon's all about, catching them all. First try, first try. We got there in the end. So yeah, good news, Saintler is the hardest of the 4 of these to catch. The bad news is, I mean, that's only half the Pokemon in the whole game to catch. It's still got a decent amount left if I was catching them all. I like how I'm just wandering straight past where I need a heal. I appreciate that they made it very close, though. Also, if you think about it, I'm actually very, very close to outside as well. So you can go straight from outside to this place. Hi, you're in the way of the computer. All my friends are in it. Entei is nowhere near purification, by the way, right? Not nowhere, but still, yeah, jeez, takes its time. Also, bite. You kidding me? It's not another fire attack. We got bite. Ugh. Ugh. So, but yeah. So other than that, the race was pretty solid. I think there's good fun pit strategies always in the 12-hour races. There's a lot of drama as well, and every time we don't need to go down this way. Every time in 12-hour races, long pit stops or other sort of recoveries can still be had, and often you're sort of more at the mercy of playing it smart and playing around, well, not playing around safety cars, but being in the right place for the safety cars definitely helps. So people can somehow make a lot of places out of nowhere. So if we head in here, oh my goodness, items. Timer balls. I hardly knew her. But yeah, last one I really have. Oh, I didn't mention the AI stuff as well. So is the AI market crumbling finally? No, not yet. But we are getting weird cracks in places. Microsoft, or as people are now endearingly calling them, Microslop, they're getting a lot of flack for continually and repeatedly breaking Windows 11 in even more ways, as always. Turns out, I have no idea why my Windows 11 keeps crashing as well. And like, it's like in the kernel, it's just like, there's something like real low down. It says like, I couldn't like allocate a page. Or like, it's like I threw an unhandled exception in the base code of the operating system there. And it's like, oh, should you be doing that? Should you really be doing that? So, here's a pro strat. If anyone's on Windows, I don't know if this works on Windows 10. But if you're on Windows 11 and you know how you can only disable updates for 5 weeks, look up, there's a registry edit that lets you change that to as long as you want. Just make sure you set it to a somewhat reasonable amount of time. Don't forget about forever. But like whenever anyone says, oh, you should like, gosh, Entei's gonna get whopped. Yeah, let's leave Entei. Let's cut Entei some flack. Let's switch out to Meganium, who does indeed have the experience share, but oops, wrong person switching out to Meganium. There we go. I could use Ampharos as well, but let's give Meganium some love today. But yeah, when people say like, oh, you know, you shouldn't disable Windows updates because then you'll be vulnerable to security risks. Yeah, technically, I guess. But like, I'd prefer my computer working than to like... Sorry, I prefer my computer to have security risks than not to work, I guess. That's my point. Masquerade's always a good fun one to spot. Intimidator's not fun though. Octozuka! As, oh, we're gonna deal with the accuracy loss again. I wish I had a much better attack. Oh my goodness, Hitmontop. Maybe Hitmontop will unfortunately be the next to go. Maybe. Although, knowing that we got a... What type is Masquerade? I thought it was Water Bug. Oh, it's Bug Flying. Oh, jeez. Which means I probably shouldn't... Oh. Psybeam. Oh. Listen, I was thinking Bug type. Not gonna be good for, or Flying type. Not gonna be good for Hitmontop. Okay, just Hitmontop is out of commission right now. He's gone. He's out of here. Oh, we got Ampharos. I know Resolute is still not doing that good on oh my gosh, artillery, so but yeah, no, disable your Windows updates for a somewhat decent bit of time. I feel like if Windows is currently working for you, that is, stick with it and just don't, well, maybe not stick with it if you want to look into your Linux solutions. I've been trying out other distros, and I do feel like my Half-Life problems continue to extend further, I guess, is probably how I'd phrase it. So I do need to continue to try it out, continue to really get some going, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I gotta fix Windows, I guess. I've got a little bit too much, how would I say? I'm not having enough problems to still actively switch off Linux to, or switch to Linux. Hello, Swine! He's level 43, you know what that means. There's the shadow Pokemon. But I do wanna document some of the things that I've done and seen, and maybe see if I can compare and contrast with particularly with Bazite. Bazite is going through a bit of a generational trauma right now because they fired the team. This is gonna hurt Pillar Swine, but it won't kill him. Yeah, that's plenty. Can't hit him with the electric attack because he's ice ground, which is such a weird combo. Oh, and he's got dig. Everyone has dig. Come on, what? Boo. But yeah, no, if anyone has followed the Bazite drama, the founder of Bazite has decided to kick out the guy who maintains Handheld Daemon, which is probably one of Bazite's like darling child tools that makes it. It's basically a nice little tool that gives you a touch-ready interface for adjusting power levels, controller inputs, and maybe any other sort of small optimizations for specific handheld devices. I think the guy has also done improvements to the kernel to help out these gaming use cases, because I think he's got like an ROG Ally, I think he said. Yeah, no, he's just been kicked out for some bizarre reason. Yeah, he's going to continue working on Handheld Daemon anyways, but he sort of expressed that, like, the owner of Bazite is effectively running Bazite as if it's his own, you know, personal project. Okay, we leave it there. We leave it there. We leave Pillar Swine there. He's going to keep using Shadow. Oh, he's got Blizzard. Does Blizzard hit both? I think it does. Yeah. That's not fun. Ouchies. Do I have anything that will really help? I mean, I guess I can use Reflect. But Pillar Swine has a very high catch rate for some reason. Like it's 75, I don't know why. So hopefully this is a very easy one-time catch. First ball. I jinxed it. I jinxed it. Oh well. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get him next time. But yeah, that's always the risk with especially with Linux distros, but really any project that is led by one person, is you are very at the whim of that one person. And that's not the end of the world, but it is your operating system. You are really like, when the person from Bazite wants to the person running Bazite is like, I want to test these drivers today, and he just pushes them. He just pushes them in. You kind of just got to go with the flow. Obviously, you can update to whatever version you want and not worry about that. But, like, if you do just continually update your Bazite and you suddenly get caught out by a very weird, update like that, you're at the mercy of that. And that's actually a problem with immutable distros when someone else maintains them. Am I allowed to throw a ball while you're using dig? I am. Okay. GZ Doom sort of had the same thing going on. And at the end of the day, like, all of these open source projects, especially Bazite, I mean, it could just be forked. You could literally have someone maintain Bazite, but, like, better. I think Bazite might be a little unhappy about any branding or any sort of Bazite-centric terminologies, but, like, that should be very easy to swap out. And on top of that, I forgot the name, but there's, like, another distro, and it's, like, effectively Bazite, but not immutable. It's literally just a regular Fedora. At the end of the day, like, it's fine. Also, the nice thing about immutable distros is that it does make it a little easier to swap. Because you just say, like, RPM OS tree, like, I actually want to base it off this instead. And suddenly now you're running Core OS, or you're running something else. Like, the core part of the operating system is tracked and stable. So you do have that, but yeah, it's like, the average person doesn't really know that. And also, if you're the more power user who would know how to tinker and tweak that the way you want, then it's more preference rather than, like, an actual big benefit to be running the, I guess, whether you want to run an immutable distro like that. So, ultimately, I'm not too sure what the future of Bazite is really going to be, but the future of Linux is still Linux. It's still, it is what it is. Just because Bazite goes doesn't mean that there won't be another project to immediately take its place. And if anything as well, like, forks and other sorts of... that's the other thing as well, is that these distros are effectively, like, curated starting points. And I think I saw a lot of people sort of say at the end, well, you could use Bazite, but you could also just build up your own workstation from a Fedora base image and just call it a day. You don't necessarily need, a pre-done image that has all the stuff. Also, 4 Ultraballs, nice. They got the green ooze! Hi there.
Forget about getting past me. I'll protect Lady Venus from you.
Oh, jeez. We got the Sneasel. Everyone likes Sneasel, and by everyone I mean maybe me. I don't know. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's right, another Shadow Pokemon. I think this Sneasel's probably as hard to catch as the Gligar. Well, unfortunately, it's first. What type of Sneasel? Dark Ice? What is Dark Ice weak to? I think, not fighting? Very fighting. Okay, do not use, fighting on Sneasel. Maybe just triple kick and bite's gonna be half damage, so maybe we'll swap out to I might just go in with a Shadow Rush and just see what happens. It is a hyper mode Shadow Rush, that's my only problem. I might be like about to just one hit this Sneasel. Da. You didn't see anything. Me when I reset and I didn't hit the intermission music. Pro tip: do not kill Sneasel. It's not fun. But yeah. But I do wish that we had... what was it as well? I think I saw articles today of Microsoft sort of hitting some rocky roads with OpenAI. And I don't know if this is just like people trying to really shake up the market in some way. If they just start spreading rumors that, oh, people at Microsoft are very unhappy about the way OpenAI have been treating themselves. Or like, been doing deals with everyone but Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. And it's like, Microsoft, you make a competitor. Also, you put Copilot in Notepad. Also, Notepad now has remote code execution vulnerabilities all of a sudden. It was the most, like, it's just a simple program. You type text, and that's it. And then you added in Markdown preview, and you accidentally added in remote code execution through your Markdown preview. How did you manage to pull that one off, Microsoft? Not to say it's the easiest thing in the world, but, like, it should be the simplest and most pedigree program in the world. Other than maybe your calculator. And your calculator actually connects to the internet, so never mind. All of these programs have ridiculous amount of telemetry as well. They all have vectors through the web interface anyways. Blood went to see Cold Rain, but there's 2 different bands called Cold Rain. Okay, we are not killing Sneasel in one go. The trick is, we get Entei out of hyper mode first. Oh my goodness, there's a shadow Pokemon. Okay, let's get out of shadow mode. Or hyper mode, sorry. Oh, the posture check. Every time. So what time do people celebrate the Lunar New Year? Like, is it specifically, because I mean China's all in one time zone, so it's like, is it all specifically at the Chinese time zone, or is it like, depending on where you are, you celebrate the Lunar New Year where you are? Also, Rip Loudred, that was a good takedown. Jeez. I'm curious, but yeah, no, it's not 3.5 hours away, it's 49 minutes away. Almost 48 minutes. Seviper, everyone's favorite 3rd gen. Seviper is poison, which means, can I use fighting? Maybe. I mean, I can use a bite just to sort of gauge. Plus, things is going to use Shadow Rush anyways. This is half damage, so it's not going to be particularly great. Maybe I should have used this in hyper mode. Ooh. No, I don't know. I probably would have killed it. Okay. But yeah, no. What else do we have come up this week? Some game releases. Obviously, we've got the 2nd week of Formula 1 happening in the upcoming... literally this week. And this one will actually be long broadcasts. Proper 8 hours on every day, which would be fun to watch through, so there is that. But yeah, other than that, like, I guess for me, you know, it's going to be continuing the job search. I had a weird one. I had an interviewer ask how much experience I had with AI tools, and like, a part of me is like, well, I don't really use a lot of AI tools. And then another part of me is, well, I studied neural nets in high school. So, sorry, not in high school, at uni, so, technically 8 years? And this person said, what? 8 years? AI's only been a thing for like 4 years. And I was like, what? All of these companies didn't just suddenly go, let's all AI all at the same time. No, they, like, this has been a long thing coming. Google bought DeepMind in January 2014. Like, this was clearly a thing for quite a while. What? And so, like, I had to sort of tell the person who was interviewing me, I was like, AI's been a thing for a lot longer. Or, sorry, neural nets has been a thing for a lot longer. And just, when you say AI, do you just mean this one use case? I don't know, it's so nebulous. And then, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through to the next interview stage, we'll see. Also, Corsola, everyone's favorite. But yeah, it's like, Of course it's not rock type, is it? I'm just using the turn. I think it is rock type. I'm not sure if I was chatting to a manager or an engineer, because they just call themselves an engineer. I don't know if like I'm chatting to someone who's just like, oh, you know, I work in this team and stuff like that, and it's just like, what do you do? It's like, oh, I'm a senior person. I can't tell if like there's someone who knows a lot about the code or whether they know something about a lot about the product. They're a bit tight-lipped on what the product was as well, so I always get very sensitive about that. I'm like, you know, like, I want to know what the project is, and not to be choosy, but it's like, I would really love to have a couple of places reach out to me, and I would love to pick the one that I love the most as a product standpoint, because I really want to deliver a great product. I really want to do something, build on something that really means stuff to people. I'm not a big fan of the quick buck kinds of stuff. I tried applying to a place that slyly didn't mention anything about Web 3, which, for reference, Web 3 is NFT spam, and they're still going ahead on the NFT spam. But it's like I look at that site and it's like, oh my gosh, it's just a casino. But like, you don't know, there's a huge risk where it's like, yeah, you don't know who you're actually applying for until it's kind of late. I'm gonna use a rapid spin. Might help drag it down a little bit. So yeah, so it's like, weird interview stories. It's always weird. And at the end of the day, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I wish the interviews were about the job. I wish they weren't testing me on super arbitrary things, because I know in in less than a year, we're not going to be talking about what's your use of AI tools. We're going to be talking about the real thing that matters, which is how well you do the job. And if you use an AI tool, well, you know, like, are you using it quickly? Are you using it accurately? Are you ensuring that you're not leaking data to OpenAI every time you try and use it? Or other competitor companies? Because we know that there's been AI data leaks all over the place, which, Fetty, you mentioned Discord earlier. I mean, it's not a new leak from Discord, but it's just the fact that, like, people have been pointing out that the new version of Discord's face verification is by a company that has a lot of... I think it's founded by Peter Thiel, who's the Palantir guy. And that's not to say that they're sending data to Palantir. But I think the point is, why? Why are we taking pictures of people's faces? And then, like, sorry, I get why... How would I put it? There should be a hard line, which is, do not collect people's faces, images of them, and to some extent, really anything, because I'm not sure where we draw the line, without their permission. I don't like the idea of being constantly surveilled on. People constantly building a profile about who is who and trying to connect the dots on who is who. Advertisers build up probability matrices about which people they know and which, like, characters seem to line up more with how they type, what things they're interested in. And then they sell that data to another company. And then it's like, oh, whenever the GDPR comes around and they go, you know, like, European Union law says that the person is a European Union citizen and they've requested that you delete their data. Okay, delete. Hey, company B, can I buy the data back from you again? Sure thing. It happens all the time. It's a completely moot point. The GDPR is effectively worthless because it doesn't account for this stupid system of insane mass surveillance. Obviously, there's going to be domain-specific data. The private data is... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There are so many copies of your data out there that, like, the moment it's leaked, it's all over the place. Also, it's the bottom of the lift, which I still can't take. Unless it keeps going down. Rip. We're nearly at the end of the stream, but I will witness what happens when I go through this door, but I will run up and save just so I can finish the the talking point. And at the end of the day, like, okay, so what is our goal? Our goal here, obviously there's competing interests, but the reason why I think people want to try and push for this is they want there to be internet security for young people. In particular, everyone's following the Australia law, which, by the way, hasn't worked at all. Anytime the government says this, I just want to rant about the government for a moment. Anytime the government says, yes, we have protected kids. Like, it has been 2 months since people under the age of 16 cannot go on the internet. And also, cannot go on the internet. They cannot make a social media account on specifically one of 10 websites. 4chan is not one of them. Wikipedia almost was one of them. For some reason. I don't know. But they then decided to go with a hand-curated list, which generally was the biggest 10 social media sites. There is absolutely no evidence at all that these kids are, like, leading better lives because there's no TikTok. It's certainly quieter, I'll definitely tell you that, but, like, you can easily fudge, like, metrics. You can easily fudge things. You can use alternative services. Like, yeah, sure, you can't use Instagram or you can't use TikTok. You can use Little Red Book. I'm just saying. You can use a variety of competing services. Kids clearly would be using fake IDs or things like that. The kids are never at fault, by the way, if they're ever found doing this. It's clearly the site's fault for not taking them down.
Before that horrible boy can meddle anymore, I'll link up with Iron at the Shadow Pokemon Lab. Hey kids, how did you have to chase me? It's so unfair. This isn't good. I can't lead them back to the lab.
Back to the lab again. And then they just... Oh, yeah. The malicious argument... Sorry, yeah. The deeper argument would be, was this ever about children's safety? And that is certainly a question. Can I just get on the front of the train and be like, I'm on the front of the train, dang it. And I can't operate without the key, so... It is a train, yeah. And they seem to disappear. But I don't have a key. He is a fan of trains, that is true. And she's just gone. She juked us. And she didn't drop the key. Well, we got juked. But good thing there's a chest here. Which has black glasses. That's not a key, though. But yeah, all of this is to apparently protect kids, but there's no evidence that any of this is happening. I don't think that they particularly have an insidious nature, the government, or at least the Australian government. I don't know about other governments, but the fact that they've all jumped on this coincidentally at the same time is certainly a bit suspect. Oh, so is that it? Is that it? I get to the end. We don't have the key. Da-da-da-da. Exactly. I thought something was going to happen at the front there. Or I wasn't paying attention just then. I mean, it does feel like it's a big emotional appeal. It does feel like it's just there to, to claim that the government was doing something to help. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That kind of stuff. But I'm very skeptic about where this is all going, because ultimately at the end of the day, and not to say the GDPR has created a problem, but certainly the whole companies can't I feel like I needed to stay down there, but I wasn't quite sure what actually was down there, unless I obviously missed something and no one yelled it out to me. But things like everyone getting spammed for oh, this site collects cookies about stuff. You know what that site does? 80% of the time, I can guarantee this. 80% of the time, the site doesn't care. You say accept cookies, it does the same thing as reject cookies. It doesn't store anything because a cookie means nothing. They're going to identify you anyway. That is a required cookie. Everything else, cookies are local. Like, yeah, they do get sent to the server every time you make a web request, but like, the cookie is the local storage. There is no privacy with a cookie, if that makes sense. Like, you don't put important things in a cookie because you don't need that to be sent every single time. You put, like, things like this. Oh my gosh, I am blind. I am completely blind. She dropped the key right next to the door. It's all good. To the front of the train. I was just talking about cookies. That's it. Oops, I dropped the subway key. We were doing so well without that. But oh well. Everyone likes a good old train. So welcome to I think this is the last dungeon of the game actually. But you can see there's a chest back there. Oh, Muriel, you're in the way. Oh, hi there. Yo, how's it going? Just getting off shift? Oh, wasn't Lady Venus supposed to be coming today? The senior faces. The Blacklist. How'd you get down here? Ah. The Shadow Pokemon Lab? You're telling me she Okay, sure, yeah. I think they're dead. I think they're dead. Then we got a U disc. It's like the F disc, but it's for you. It moves it up. Anyway, we'll take that U disc and go. Actually, can we go in? Can we check out what's in? I will briefly give it a sight. Oh, there we go. You'll never be able to chase us now. Yeah, I was like, just double check in. Well, they did drop the key, so we can't enter via the underground. But if only we had an above ground way of visiting. What is with these people and dropping keys, by the way? They've done this like 4 times in the game. Oops, I dropped the lift key. Only happened once. And the Silphco key, actually. Twice. Okay. But yeah. No, so anyways, data collection is doo-doo. All these companies are collecting tons of stuff on you anyways. They're all building big advertiser profiles, which is a weird zero-sum game, by the way. Like, I guess they are making money. Obviously, the advertiser market clearly has money in there somewhere, although I feel like a part of it is mostly funded by the big players. Google and Amazon make a lot of money anyways as a storefront. And so just being an advertiser platform and kind of doing it for the cheap is like, you know, like I guess they get away with it. But at the end of the day, ads don't mean anything if you don't buy anything from them. And an economic recession or an economic depression certainly hits advertisers almost as hard as it hits the actual people. Because they're clearly like, they're the ones who are like right in the crossfire there. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it for the stream. And the Twitch, I saved right before, didn't I? The Twitch VOD might be a little over 3 hours, but the YouTube stream will be less. You stayed until the end, yes. We got a good number of Pokemon. We're up to 25? We're up to 25 now, so that's all good. We're at bang on 10 hours, so... Anyways, we'll call it there. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, or you didn't enjoy the stream, that's fine. You can follow on Twitch, 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight every week. We're still doing that for a bit. Yeah, if you missed parts of this, or in Tom's case, you didn't miss any of it, then yeah, no, you can check it out on YouTube, along with all the other VODs. I should really link to like some random stream that I've done, like just a random one. I mentioned Theme Park World earlier. Everyone's watching that one for some reason. I make like $1 a month from those streams, which is actually nice. So thank you, ads. But And yeah, you can follow on the Fetty where I might say some things. I've been tempted to start making a pseudo-programming blog just to sort of like vent some opinions about that kind of stuff. Longer than tweets, but still short form in some way, so that's all good. But yeah, have a good one. Don't stay up too late. Happy Chinese New Year, and yeah, peace out.